It looked like, if anyone's familiar with Billy Meier's sightings, very astonishingly similar to that craft. It was a very sleek, thin-looking, flying saucer-shaped craft.
Good evening, folks, and welcome to a fine and horny evening. And it is a horny evening because we've invited Michael Horn back to face off against Stu Little, the pro photographer that did a little bit of a video for us this week. Now, Michael's got the invite. Michael, it is over to you, my friend. I even if you pop in for 10 minutes, you know, just to say your piece, because I think one thing that I do have respect for you, Michael, is that I've seen from watching hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of interviews, is you kind of face the beast, so to speak. That's it, Lee. It's okay, Lee. If you think I'm just piping on you, you just bring yourself in.
I can't hear you.
You can't. You can't hear me. You speak. You. Stu, do I have audio?
I can hear you. Yeah, you've got audio. How you doing, mate?
Oh, Lee can't hear. I think Lee's headphones have gone because Lee popped in to say I can't hear you, and but I could hear Lee.
Yeah, I can hear Lee.
His device is just disconnected. So I think he's got some. He's just spoiled my fucking introduction.
Yeah, he killed it for you, mate.
Stu,
hello.
How you doing, my lad? What a great bloody video you made.
It was good fun to do. I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun.
Can everybody else hear me in the chat, by the way? He's here. He's here. He's here. What's he doing?
I tried to add myself, didn't I? I tried to add myself, and then you got rid of me.
Can you hear us now?
Yeah.
I see it was you.
Oh, yeah. No, it was me. It was just there was a thing. It was a thing. I knew what the thing was.
Your audio's gone funny.
Has it?
Oh, no, it's
yeah, you're about. It's there. No, it's there now.
Is it?
Yeah.
You guys are really quiet in my ears.
It did go weird. Like a weird connection. But yeah, I was just saying before you rudely destroyed the show, Lee, with your connection, your stupid connection. Stu did a phenomenal job.
He did. It was amazing.
Your mic's gone again.
Yeah, your mic's gone now.
Sorry, I'm trying to sort the volume out now.
All right, there we go. He's back. And we did. Michael Horn did. He made some comments. He's sent me some emails to send to you, Stu. That you've and I kind of I don't know if I expect him to pop in tonight or not.
If he pops in, he pops in.
I mean, it's not about being rude or anything like that. It's just about factual information, and you as a photographer.
Yeah, well, I'll put my hand up and say this just now. I got the wrong camera, but that was based on what I read on Michael's website. So he's putting the wrong information out, and they've informed me it was a 55mm Ricoh camera of some type. So I would have to adjust any calculations I said. But the rest of it still stands.
Yeah.
He's full of shit.
Like
So-
you
so-
said on the to a couple of those photographs, it's you don't need to be a professional photographer to realize that's a fucking cake tin.
I know.
Yeah. But
It's not a cake tin, Lee. It's you know, it's a dustbin lid.
yeah.
Oh, they go hard on why it's not a dustbin lid. Bloody well it is.
I know it is.
Do you know what? Like the post, the old school poster does say, "I want to believe." I didn't realize that Meier sued X-Files.
Yeah, he got $500,000 out of them.
Shit,
Did he
they're
really?
bad.
And they had to there's like four. I had to, again, rabbit hole went down this one as well. There was 4 or 5 posters created, 2 of which were Meier, and then the other 3 they made look like Meier, but it was just done by the art guys.
Yeah, because it did change, didn't it? And
Yeah.
I have heard Michael say that the poster wasn't exactly the same, but he never said why. But I think the poster was the same to begin with, but they had to change it because they got sued. Did you say $500,000?
They supposedly, allegedly got $500,000 off them. I don't know whether they settled out of court. To be honest with you, $500,000 to, like, I think it's the Fox network it would have been, is like a drop in the ocean.
Mm.
Even in the 90s, you know, that wasn't that big. That was fuck off money, you know.
And he
Don't
probably fucked it as well
inconveniences.
because when he sued them, if he sued them in the first series, it would have been before we knew it was going to be like a
It was
the
between
show.
the end of the second series and the third season.
Oh,
It was the
okay.
hiatus between the season 2 being filmed and season 3 actually, like, season 2 ending and season 3 being filmed when they actually sued. From what I've seen in the videos, there's 2 half decent videos on YouTube. One's a kind of, I'm not going to say German dude, but he could be Nordic, but he's got an accent of that kind of ilk. And he goes into it really deeply. And then there's another one that's kind of just more of a looser video essay on it, but they both say roughly the same thing.
Mm.
How do you get away with that? I that's what I don't get. You know, like, so if you're looking at the like Tic Tac video that everybody's putting out, and then you've got a guy that takes a picture of some UFOs and he puts them out and they go into books, they go into news. Isn't it just standard, like,
At the end of the day, it still has copyright, even if it's a fake. It's his fake,
Yeah,
you know.
his
So,
intellectual property.
and I guess, I mean, I'm totally guessing here, but I could just imagine some little interns in the art department with the X-Files back in the day, and he's been told to make up a poster. The guy's basically, obviously the internet was about, but it was very, you know, weak sauce back then. There was hardly any images on it at that point. It was more message boards and things in that time. So I would say he probably went and raided the local library, found a book, rephotographed one of the Meier images, cropped into it a bit, and then put it on a poster. Like Costco or Kenko, whatever they call it over in America, and that's where that poster came from. But yeah, but just to give you an idea of how like weak sauce $500,000 is, I believe one of the original posters that was screen used went for just under $1 million recently at auction.
Bought that? It's a joke.
No comment. So there you go.
I don't fucking just a second. I've run over my microphone wire and I can't. This is the most I can sit up. So, Lee, help me out here.
I mean, we're not in the same fucking room.
I just meant talk while
Oh, right. Okay. maybe it's Michael, right? Maybe we are unprofessional.
we are unprofessional.
We are.
We are the most unprofessional fucking YouTube alien UFO whatever it is channel going.
Yeah. Neither of us have got fake tans.
I've done it now.
Right, great.
Yay.
There we go. I'll end up doing it again. It always does. No,
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a shame. Like the thing with those sort of things is, and especially photographs like that, any clear picture of something that looks like a flying saucer, you're gonna want to be real. So if you want it to be real, but you've got the discernment to go, I really like that, really want it to be real, but it's obviously fucking bullshit. That means out of all of the billions of people in the world, there's going to be a good chunk of them which will look at that and go, I really want that to be real, and not have the discernment to go, it's fucking bullshit. So that's how you create things like this.
There's plenty of UFO photos I've looked at over the years and thought, Jesus, I hope that's real.
Yeah.
You know, TR3B stuff, and I'm not talking about the video that's faked or that, but the original stuff.
You're not talking about the DeLong.
Yeah, the DeLong. The one that was photographed in Belgium that's quite blurry. I mean, that's kind of interesting. There's loads of them out there, so there is. But I don't know. It's just when it comes to that stuff of his, I mean, yeah, there's some of it kind of, you could maybe say, maybe, I don't know. But when it comes to that wedding cake UFO, it's quite clearly a load of nonsense.
That's the problem, isn't it? If he just took the ones in the field, the ones with the of the UFO in the air, if he just took those photographs,
he wouldn't be having a conversation about it.
No, and they would be remembered as, are they? Aren't they? The same as those, the photographs.
McMinn ones, isn't
it?
McMinn?
The ones in like the 40s or whatever it was with the guy in the truck. We treat them like those, but he didn't. He took a picture of like a gold jelly mold.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that has happened out of like going down the Meier rabbit hole is I used to be quite in the camp of believing Bob Lazar. I'm now not in the camp of believing Bob Lazar, and I think Bob Lazar is full of shit.
This is the most interesting thing that I've had from you. Did it take about 2 weeks on and off editing that video? It was about 2 weeks for you doing it.
I mean, obviously I had to do it
and doing the research and stuff like that.
Yeah, I had to do it in between, the paid gigs and all the rest of it.
I can just remember the text where you just said to me, "I'm no longer a Bob Lazar believer."
Yeah, because I can see the pattern of where Bob's got all his ideas from, effectively, and that's something that we might make a video on pretty soon. I don't know, because I really enjoyed doing this video.
Did you see the intro, Stu? Did you see the intro to tonight?
It looked like, if anyone's familiar with Billy Meier's sightings, very astonishingly similar to that craft.
Yeah, there you go. No, it's just, and plus I've actually looked up old Stanton Friedman documentaries, like interviews that he's done that I hadn't seen before, like breaking down why he thought Bob Lazar was full of shit, and I've got to agree with him now.
So you are working on a Lazar documentary for the channel, aren't you?
Yeah. I'm just a small one. It's not
the big Greer one that you're doing.
It's not the big Greer one that I'm doing. That's a long-term project, but it'll be roughly 15-20 minutes again. So I'm pulling together information just now for it. But whereas this one was a bit kind of tongue-in-cheek, and Arnie says bullshit a hell of a lot, but this one will be a little bit more kind of straight-laced, maybe. I don't know, maybe not. I don't know. We'll see how it turns out. But yeah, I'm going to do something for the channel, Lazar related, because it was shocking, because I was at died, and we'll fucking down the line, Lazar speaketh the truth, and it's I don't believe him anymore. So there you go.
Comfy sofa, mate. Your video is coming up on tonight's show. Yeah, we have a UFOs subscription sent to us.
Nice.
So we're going to play that in a bit. I do want to, because listen, Michael's not turning up, and I knew for a fact he would. Well, I was like 97% sure that he's not going to turn up for this video. at this show. So that's why the thumbnail is nothing really to do with Billy Meier, other than kind of a little bit. And I've said this for a long time. The flying saucer seems to have just fucked off. You know, it's long gone.
I think what you're trying to say in gambling terms, like when you've beaten the one-armed bandit, you should walk away.
Absolutely. Right. So, have you seen the Logan Paul clip?
Me?
Either of you?
Yeah.
On the
I've looked
impulsive
at it
process.
all week. Yeah.
I'm going to bring it up
He's
because
a handsome man.
He's a handsome man. Very good looking. I can appreciate a good looking man. Why not?
Jawline.
The footage is compelling, not convincing. It's from 1995. The tape had been worn down. It's been played probably over 100 times. And so the quality is not great. And everything about it screams bullshit, which is the true reason I haven't released it. It's not enough. It doesn't have enough meat on the bone and proof for me to put it out confidently and be like, this is legit UFO footage. There's one kind of interesting thing about the video that could prove its validity. When you scrub through the footage forward and back, like kind of fast, like you take your little slider and you scrub through like this, the disc hovers so fluidly. It's like buoyant almost in the air. And I'm not sure if that type of movement, like as fluid as it was possible in 1995 VFX editing. It looks like too good. It looks too good.
That's going to come out, that video. I'm convinced.
Absolutely. And also, his co-host looks like he wants to do stuff to him right there. That's a leak.
Yes, that's a.
I watched, oddly enough, the day before this came out, because I follow Logan Paul on TikTok. And
you're a fan. You're a big fan, aren't you? Lee? You're a little bit of a crush there.
No, I'm not. I'm not a hidden fan of Logan Paul's. I find him quite entertaining. Oddly enough, where everyone else was upset, I started really liking him after that forest video. But he had a TikTok put out about viral marketing, and he was explaining how they originally did like this advert for Prime, which had him and KSI on it. Someone photoshopped it so it looked like KSI was sucking him off. So then he said, so we retweeted that. He said that means, and then he worked out they got like an extra 5 million views from the original post they put. He said, then we took that poster and we used that poster for a viral marketing campaign. So we got an extra thing. And he went down the chain that from this one image, they'd got an extra like 100 million views because of the way they'd worked it. What he's doing right there is viral marketing for what he's going to put out.
Yeah.
And you can bet
absolutely.
Fiverr says it's got Prime written on the side of it.
Yeah, I don't dislike Logan Paul. His brother, I've got issues with what he does, but Logan's okay. He's the sort of better of the two of them.
He knows what he is. I think that's
he's becoming. I think since he's got involved with the WWE and stuff like that, he's being a little bit more savvy about his business.
Yeah.
Acumen, what he's doing, he's been a little bit more careful because obviously, getting a contract with the WWE is gold.
Yeah, absolutely. Hidden, welcome, mate.
Bonjour, everyone.
Good evening.
How you doing, mate?
I feel like doing my Peter Griffin and saying Bon Jovi. There, I did
it. Michael has responded, Stu. I'm just gonna send I'm gonna screenshot it and send it to you, so you can read it out.
So I just, while you're doing that, I just caught the bit.
Can you email it to me?
Yeah.
I caught you guys talking about Logan Paul, and this video that he's hyping up. Now, I've been seeing the chatter on the internet about this video, and what a lot of people are saying, it's an old MUFON case video.
I've seen.
Does that mean they have it?
It was reported to MUFON. Now, what they are saying about this is what Paul might have, because nobody's seen this video that he's got. But what they're saying is that he might have a recreation of this sighting.
Well, this goes back to the Rogan interview, doesn't it, with James Fox?
Yeah.
Did you see that hidden? The Rogan? So basically, what James Fox has said is that this guy, someone else, help me out with the guy that had the original footage. I can't remember his name.
His name's
do you really want me to read this out, Ollie? Do you really want me to read this
I've not
out?
read it. I've not read it literally because I was speaking.
Is it from my friend Michael?
It's from your friend Michael, right?
God bless you, Michael. I still love you, brother.
I don't dislike
He might. He's got an invite.
Okay, right, here we go. So far, Stu has failed to respond to the expert analysis of the evidence and the expert criticisms of his amateurish, rushed, and Sorry, what?
Can I just stop you for a split second before you carry on? I would like to say that Michael is yet to respond to our expert analysis of the photographs. Carry on.
Okay. The expert criticisms of his amateurish, rushed, and unsubstantiated attacks. I suggest you and your co-host familiarize yourselves with Meier's evidence, because when I return from traveling, I will be inviting both of you to come on my show and answer questions. The ground rules are fairly simple. Since you claimed the Meier case is a hoax, you must substantiate your claims. Right, I've got a rebuttal to that. Hold that thought. Of course, since I came on your show where you misrepresented your intentions, you're obligated to come on my show. See, he's baiting you guys there. Where I'm letting you know in advance what you're required to do. Failure to do so, or to credibly answer any questions, means you failed. We'll review what Stu says in the video and hold. You're responsible for substantiating it. Right, okay, so this is me directly to Michael. Okay, Michael? You listening?
Sounds like a fucking Krypton Factor crystal maze thing.
Fucking
right.
lunatic.
I know. If he wants me to properly debunk the wedding cake photo with the building behind it to start with, I need some things from him. I want a high-res version of the wedding cake photo, the highest quality they've got. So whoever scanned it, I want the scanned version. It's only fair that I get to look at what their expert got to look at. Mm-hmm. I would like the coordinates on Google Earth to the Meier property where that image was taken, so I can take measurements of the building and work out and basically do a bit of trig and get figures for myself. Now, the reason why I picked the Olympus ECR camera is because on his website, on one of the pages, it said that it was the Olympus ECR that basically Billy Meier used to photograph the wedding cake UFO in front of his home or whatever it was. That's why I chose that camera. Had I known it was a 55mm Ricoh camera, then I would have made my adjustments. I'm only going on what evidence I had at the time. So I went on Michael's website, got basically the wrong information, which is his bad, he has an issue. He'll need to go and find that and correct it for himself. And I went down that road with that image. They haven't responded at all to my main comment, which is the car shot where the UFO is behind the car. And that's the other thing. They've done this big diatribe of me talking about the UFO being in front of the car. At no point in the video did I say the UFO was in front of the car. The UFO has always been behind the car, out of focus. The car is in front of the UFO. We all see that. But I had pointed out that the light source is absolutely massive. And they haven't responded to that. They've totally ignored that part of my debunk. So they aren't even responding to what I said properly. They're picking and choosing what they want to come back at because they think they've got evidence to disprove it. The other thing is they did research and did measurements using Blender. There's one of the units of measurements doesn't exist anywhere, so God knows what they're talking about there, and their trig's wrong. So I can't take that evidence and say that it's correct or incorrect or whatever, because from what I've seen so far, it's completely incorrect. It's skewed information, biased towards giving a result that suits them, and they lean on the reflectance on the Christmas baubles quite heavily, whereas there's other ways of taking measurements to work out the size of something. So they've kind of gone down this road that I just don't think they needed to go down. So that's my take on it. If he wants me to do it properly, I want a high-res scan and I want the coordinates to the location so I can take proper measurements.
Who's this?
Michael. Michael needs to provide this to me, and I will then do another video.
Who's wrote to you?
This is Michael. This is Michael.
I've just forwarded it to Stu. Again,
Stu.
Michael's had messages for Stu for me to send to Stu. Complicated. But also, Michael, if you are watching this now, you know, because you're messaging me now on the show, I've sent you the invite. So rather than telling me, why rather than this back and forth messaging, because I'm not going to keep doing that, just come on the show. If there's things, it is Friday.
It's Friday. He's got his acupuncture appointment.
Just quickly to refer to going on his channel, which is fine. I'm more than happy to
absolutely
go on his channel. You might get some views.
Mike.
But
I'll play.
If you want to turn around and say that I'm obligated to come on your show, I'm not obligated to come on your show at all. If you want to try and set ground rules, you can fuck right off, because what you're trying to tell me is that they are photographs of alien fucking spaceship. The onus of fucking proof is on you. You can't say that it's up to us to debunk that because it looks fucking ridiculous. The onus is on you to to tell me they're real.
That's the thing he did in the previous email, Lee. He basically said to Ollie, Stu needs to go through our evidence and, debunk our evidence. But
no, they need to give me evidence that is credible enough for me to believe it.
Yeah, and they're not doing that. And the thing is, if one thing's a load of bullshit, like the
fucking dinosaurs
and the fucking dinosaurs, and the fact that Phil Langdon has literally on his website got a list of all the parts that make up that stupid fucking UFO wedding cake. He's literally every single part of it he's got listed. I mean, we need to get Phil on, to be honest with you. Phil's also done extensive videos showing how he basically Billy did it, and that's actually a lot of which I based my summarizations of the later videos. But in terms of what I really was debunking, apart from having a little bit of fun at Michael's expense, was the lighting in the night shot. And the other information they've gone on about, they sent another image. I don't know if you've got it there, Ollie, where there's like a sort of streaky blur of.
I've only got so much stuff in StreamYard.
Yeah. I hadn't seen this one either. I mean, that's the thing. I've only seen a limited amount. Supposedly there's 60 odd photos.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. The website is. I like the website. It's got loads of images, nice quality.
Yeah, it's retro. It looks like it was built in 1998.
I was going to say 1996.
I like it.
98.
It's got lots,
Windows 98.
It's got lots of images up there for people to look at.
What you want, Ollie, not quantity. But yeah, fuck it. It's
like I said in the video, you don't need to be a photographer with 30 years fucking experience. You don't need to be a rocket scientist. You just have to look at it and have a modicum, a smidge of common sense, which even my bloody 12-year-old came in and looked at the image and went, who's faking UFO pictures today, Dad?
I'd also like to point out, he seems to be pretty keen on the photographs again, Whereas when he came on for his interview, he was telling us the photographs didn't matter. When we started questioning the photographs,
that
he
is
didn't want to talk
correct.
about them because the photographs didn't matter. They were just to get people in because it's all about his fucking soothsaying and fucking predictions, which is why Billy Meier should be fucking listened to. It's fucking
But the thing is, I mean, from what I even understand of that, and I haven't even gone down that rabbit hole, he's made that many bloody predictions that you're going to land one or two.
Absolutely. I'm a terrible darts player, but now and again I will get a bullseye.
Yeah, I'm the same. You know, anyone can hit a bullseye now and again.
The thing is, I mean,
or,
do you think in the 70s, like late 70s to 80s, this thing, it was an easy pass? Because I mean, I was born in the 80s, so I can just remember this thing from the X-Files.
Until Star Wars came out and changed the game in terms of special effects and the way spaceships were filmed and stuff like that, using motion control. Basically, the type of UFO that you were getting was stuff done in the 1950s. You know, the B movie.
The rockets where you could still see the string and stuff like that.
Yeah, Flash Gordon, all that kind of stuff. And that's what that UFO smacks of. It smacks of a Saturday morning serial, you know, Flash Gordon TV show from the 1950s that was played in the cinema before the main feature or whatever, or was played on TV.
The spacesuits.
Yeah,
the tinfoil.
The whole thing's a load of fucking bollocks. So it's of its time. So for Michael to sort of stand up and say, "Oh, these are real," no, they're fucking not. They're not, because they're dated. And it's quite interesting because you could probably, on that case, discount a lot of UFO pictures off the back of they just look dated now compared to what it was like back then.
Yeah.
But no.
Yeah, he also said, I can't remember what it was on, because I have been back and I've looked at some of Michael Horn's stuff just in case he came back. I've looked at some more of it, including a fucking terrible song, I might add. That was a tough watch, but I did, Michael. I watched all of your acoustic guitar playing.
Have you watched these cheer fitness stuff though?
No, I didn't watch. I couldn't go that far.
Oh, that's class stuff there.
Oh, I might watch that. You know, I'm trying to get into shape now again.
Yeah, don't watch. I wouldn't. I'd go somewhere else. But there was something I either watched or read where he said that he had seen it with his own eyes, and I can't remember him saying that when we were talking about them.
Sorry, Lee.
always trolling me, isn't he? Oh, Lee's always trolling me. Sorry. What? He's seen something. He's seen something.
I'm sorry, Lee. Sorry. Oh no, sorry. He might be speaking to the other Lee. It's fine. It's okay. He might be speaking to the other Lee.
Too many Lees. It's such a common name.
Lees. But yeah, no. I'm sure I saw. I meant to try and keep this in the memory bank, but it fell out somewhere. That he'd seen it with his own eyes. That was one of the things. But I can't remember whether it was in. It might have even been in the comments. Let's be perfectly fucking honest. Given the comments on that last video, I've digested far more of Michael Horn's words that I pretty much wanted to this week.
As have I. And I don't want to do anymore.
But do you not find it weird that he didn't bring up last weekend when we were speaking to him that he'd seen them with his own eyes? That him and multiple witnesses.
Yeah, I mean,
I feel that would be something I brought up.
Yeah, I didn't even go into the fact that the shots that there's groups of people in the lower part of the image, it looks like double exposures. But I mean, I hadn't looked at them to any great degree.
Oh, you talking about the family shot?
Yeah, but there's another one as well. There's a couple that it looks like double exposures, or it's been matted out. So what you do is you get a bit of black card and block out the bit where the family would be, or the sky, depending which one you're going to put in later, and then go back and re-expose the other half of the negative later on. There's always ways and means around these things.
I mean, yeah, I will say this. I mean, for the Billy Meier photos, it looks like if I got a hold of my camera and just went out there and took some pictures with that type of camera back in the day, because I'm no photographer, but it kind of looks like he knew purposely what he was doing to get it. But if not, it was just if it's real, he's just a really, really shit photographer, because everything's out of focus, and on purpose as well. So I mean, it's
the thing. I mean, there's generally back in the day, roll of 35mm film, they either came in 12, 24, or 36, or as we used to literally roll your own. In other words, you would buy a big spool of film and you would roll it on. You could maybe squeeze like 52 shots onto a canister if you were literally rolling your own negative onto a reusable canister. But so if he shot all these images over the years, I mean, how many did he just bin? Because they were going to a lab or something to get processed.
Does Jen mean there that? Thank you, Jen, for the super chat. Does she mean the Invaders? That's what Billy got it from.
Stemmed from TV show Invaders in 1960s. She could be right there. I've never seen the Invaders, I don't think.
I've seen the Invaders. I used to watch it with my dad.
And is it kind of like the same sort of sports model UFO?
I can't remember. But
wasn't they like aliens impersonating humans, like living on Earth kind of thing?
Yeah. I think they reran it when I was at school at lunch times, and my dad it was on like reruns late at night, and then when I used to come home from school for lunch, me and my dad would watch it when I was like 5.
I don't even remember. I'm just gonna look.
Yeah,
I remember the logo, right?
I remember it. I think on the horror channel over here in the UK had it on.
That's the one where, my sister used to love this. They used to go on a Sunday.
Yeah, I think on the horror channel.
Yeah, well, before that, prior to that, like in the 80s, it used to be on a Sunday in Channel 4, because that was like they always used to show like Lost in Space and
Land of the Giants.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, my sister liked this. I now remember it. Just when it said architect David
I used to
Vincent.
love Land of the Giants. I remember that with that big small red ship.
But I mean, that's the thing. See, even like a Lost in Space and that, there's vibes in the Wedding Cake UFO of Lost in Space, Robbie the Robot, all that kind of guff.
Look at that thing. Look at that thing.
Yeah.
I mean, that is other than being little bit rounded off. That's like
you can see where the inspirations come from, though.
Yeah, yeah. And also his bin lid. Oh, I didn't say that, Michael. That was somebody else.
Oh, look at that one. Look at that one. That's like the Billy Meier bloody photograph.
Bring it up.
Bottom right.
I don't click visit in case it brings me up to some bottom right.
All right.
I thought it will.
What I will say, like when you were saying before about like how did people like believe them back then? I think your brain definitely perceives things differently, like depending on time and depending on what the situation and what you're around. Like, because I remember watching the Matrix, for instance, is a really good example of this. Because like when the Matrix came out, fucking groundbreaking special effects. And, and especially when Matrix Reloaded came out as well, when you had that fight with all the Agent Smiths, and it looked incredible. If you watch that now, it's terrible because I know. Yeah, so it's almost, and it's the same when like video games, for instance, you can play like
you've got your reference. GoldenEye and the N64 used to look amazing. Now it looks dreadful.
Absolutely. That my ones that when they keep making these like retro like HD remakes and stuff, and they look just about passable on normal consoles. But like when I remember showing my dad like Formula One, the first Formula One game on the PlayStation, and we were both looking at it going like, oh my God, it's like fucking television. It's not. The wheels are square. So it's time changes things for most of us. But,
I've just got I was just saying to you, Lee, I've just got the new Zelda game for my little boy. and I can remember playing Ocarina of Time, and I went to play that on his Switch the other day, and it's probably still a great game, but I just couldn't. It's a bit poo.
Yeah,
bit pooey graphics.
So I don't mind them, to be honest, because I think the art style carries that off. But I know what you mean.
Yeah, I mean, it is the same with, like, I think you look back at UFOs, you look at the classic flying saucer, and the whole weird thumbnail with the flying saucers are dead. I kind of mean that. It seems like they're slowly kind of drifted out, almost like when you've got your cars, the way cars are designed, and then all of a sudden you get these new cars, and you look back at old cars and you think, well, some of them look fucking amazing, because I do like a lot of fucking old classics, but
yeah,
it kind of goes with the time, and Billy Meier stuff goes with the time, the style.
This is one of the reasons why UFOs might actually be bullshit.
Yeah,
because of that.
Don't get me started on that stupid fucking ray gun. I never even went near that because I would have just lost the will to live. But I mean, another good example is, do you remember from a few years ago the Tom Cruise movie Oblivion?
Yes.
It's just him and it grew on me eventually, but I didn't like it when I first saw it. But the UFOs were kind of upside down pyramid triangular vibe things, and then all of a sudden
the main one in space was pyramid.
Yeah, but then all of a sudden, like, a few years later, you're getting similar looking UFO videos coming out of Russia with similar looking, So you've got to ask yourself, is somebody just looking at what somebody created in Oblivion and they're faking it up? I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird. And the other thing is as well, like because I've heard people explain like the changing UFOs to like technology changing, like our technology changes, so the aliens must have technology changing as well. So the idea that our like it's a human thing to create something and go, it's pretty good that we can make it slightly better. We can put a better screen on it. We can like take a couple of grams off it. And then the next thing is you've got like 25 iPhones, which are essentially the same thing, just getting slightly better every time. There is no reason to say that if there is life on another planet that's visiting this planet, that's how they would work. There's no reason that would be their workflow, that their technology would progress in the same way. I mean, like, take without making me sound like some sort of dirty communist. If you take capitalism out, so you don't have the monetary barriers put in place for technology, and let's say the some alien civilization out there actually got communism right, and they were just our people that were all working and all pushing for the same goal. The way they develop things and come to a conclusion on problems would be different to ours. But we humanize everything.
Yeah, we even humanize aliens. We always give them a head, arms, and legs.
A couple of eyes. Even they might not have a nose, but we always give them a couple of nose holes.
Yeah. No, I mean, and the thing is, like, the chances of...
Never give them a dick, though, do we? We never give an alien a dick. Never seen one.
You seem so disappointed.
It's like I've never seen a grey with a big dick. That is out of the question.
And Jim Cameron's way around that was to give him a fluttery little tail thing. That's how he worked it.
Yeah, I think if anything, if this footage comes out from whether Logan Paul releases it or Clark releases it first, I mean, if I was you, Clark, I would fucking release that first. Thank you very much. Need to see what that is. Basically, it'll be a unicorn, Lee.
That's why I hate when these people throw their hat into the ring, because he's just building hype over it, and now he's saying, well, I don't really want to show it. I think the latest thing he said was he's waiting for Bob Lazar to confirm it.
Yeah, I heard that yesterday.
So
But the thing is,
just put it out. Just put it out. It's the public that are going to decide whether they like it or not. So just put it out. And I don't think he can put it out, because isn't it a stolen video he's got anyways?
But how would Bob Lazar
the guy that had it didn't own it anyway.
Oh. So
He was keeping it for somebody.
Why was he going to pay the guy 200 grand then for it?
100.
It was 100 grand.
Is that
well,
higher $200, $200,000?
Right. The guy, basically, it was just to, sweeten the pot and get him to hand over the video. But the video was being kept for two guys. But these other guys haven't come forward. So it could all be just a load of bullshit.
That's what I feel it is. That's entirely what I feel it is.
We will see. I genuinely believe this. Like, we will see one of the most incredible videos we've ever seen. Whether it's fucking real or not is going to be up for debate.
At some point,
will we though? Will we?
Yes, I think so. I think I'm so fucking deep in my own rabbit hole with this stuff that I don't believe any of this is an accident, from the New York Times article to the Lazar stuff coming out, to the Rogan interviews, to the just all this slow mainstream media ramp up of UFO stuff. Like, it's I know people have said before, oh, it works in cycles. It works in cycles. Rich famously was saying that every time we spoke about this sort of stuff. This cycle doesn't seem to be ending. This cycle seems to be a continuous build.
It's an ebb and flow. It starts up, gets to a crescendo, then troughs out, and then back again.
I don't think it's troughed out. I don't think it's troughing out at all. I think it's just
not at the moment.
There's a huge fucking problem though, and I'm gonna play this now. I got this sent 2 days ago, and this is the problem. So nobody has seen this yet. I think you've seen it, Stu, but nobody has seen this footage.
Not even Logan Paul.
And this is a problem.
He offered us 200 grand for it.
Pay attention to Logan Paul.
This is a huge problem.
I've seen this.
You've definitely not seen this.
Tom DeLonghi had it.
100% you've not seen this.
Yeah, I'm playing.
I'll tell you why you've not seen that, because Stu made that. He got an AI to make it. And that's that's a civilian that's just made that using what, Stu? What did you make that with the other day?
It's called Gen 1, and it's basically, it works like DALL-E and Mid-Journey and stuff like that you can give it prompts, and I gave it sort of Roswell type prompts and gave it a few images and a bit of video to basically play on, and that's what it coughed out.
So I said to you straight away, I said, that's fake. You can tell straight away with the skin, it looks like silicon.
And I agreed with you 100%.
But I didn't know a computer had made it.
No.
So I thought that was a practical effect until you told me that you'd made that with DALL-E.
Well,
so what you've just said there, Lee, I totally agree with you. But how the fuck will we know if AI has not done it?
We literally
I'll tell you something. So I was just gonna say, and I'll tell you something. The AI technology is moving so fast now that it won't be years. It will literally be by the end of the summer. Like, at the moment, they can only do like 10, 15-second video clips. By the end of the summer, you'll be able to produce quite lengthy 1-minute segments of 4K video.
How long did it take you to do that?
That threw that together in like a minute and a half, 2 minutes. Processed it. It wasn't long. It was just about. It's. Yeah.
Do you know what?
Sorry, I interrupted you.
No. It's all interesting. I don't think. we always look when we think of AI things. People will talk about jobs, like the artist jobs, writers jobs. I know, like my friend Stuart. I haven't even got his book. I haven't got his book handy to plug him.
I thought you were looking for him in your room then, Stuart.
Oh no, my friend Stuart. He's got
Keeps
a
it
book.
locked up in the corner.
Got a book published on Amazon called Yesterday's Dirt, and you should go and buy it now. It's really good. And to entice me to read it, he did a special chapter at the end for me where Batman saved the day, and I thought that was nice of him. But he's like got a master's in English. He's worked all his life towards being a writer. He still writes, obviously, but he quit his job, like his day-to-day job of writing, to go back to office work, because as soon as ChatGPT came out, he said, right, well, that's like copywriting. He said, is it fucking dead trade? I might as well go back to a job that I can keep for a while, and I will just write. I'll continue to write my next novel. I'll continue to write stuff on Substack, but he said the copyright jobs are going to disappear. And people always think about this when it comes to AI. I think of it more of what it's going to do culturally. Like, if you look at what widespread use of pornography has done, like just to people. Now imagine that, but you can get it to make what you want. So it's no longer people just searching for what they want. They can find their fucking deepest, darkest fantasies because they can make an AI do it for them. It's fucking terrifying.
Did you see that video that I sent you from Project Unity with the US military going to be put in basically, and the system's called Skyborg. So it's a mixture between Skynet and the Borg, and they're putting that on US military aircraft. That is scary as shit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean DARPA's got technology at the moment that links up to the F-35, the F-22 Raptor, and they've also retrofitted older F-16s, whereby you can literally put one of these planes up without a pilot, but not only can the plane fly and do what it needs to do, it can control another 20 like microfighter drones. So you can send up a fleet of autonomous planes to fight the enemy, and not a single human being's involved.
I'm going to play this footage that we got submitted. So I'll be honest with you.
Just quickly, say just what you said. Is this not like the perfect scenario for the the industrial military complex? If you had rival countries that were just making robot armies to fight each other, that you would continually have to build, so you continue making that war money because you continue building the robots and building the autonomous planes, but you're not actually losing anybody either. You find a bit of scrubland, and then you continue making your billions because they're essentially living out fucking Call of Duty together.
Well, I mean, I've never really been into Call of Duty, but from what I understand it now, in COD 2, you got the ability to control a drone or something, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And
Modern Warfare.
Modern Warfare. And that was actually inserted at the behest and the money from the military-industrial complex. And the reason why they put it in there is effectively as a recruiting tool for drone pilots.
They've put money into Call of Duty since the first Call of Duty.
Yeah,
like it's in the, and I 100% believe that if that's the next phase of war is having good computer game players, I 100% believe it, because the reason that the first Call of Duty games were made to look cool, and it was everything was like a buddy cop movie, but with guns in a war zone. It was because they wanted to use Call of Duty as a recruiting tool for humans, for human like boots on the ground fighters. So if they're going to do the same thing as with drone pilots, I don't see I don't see why not.
If
doesn't surprise me.
they're going to employ computer game players to fly drones, I'm fine with that, because if someone's just if they're just going to come over here and build a giant dick in my back garden at drones, you know, why not? Because that's all these computer game players do on the Minecraft is penises and all that jazz, Roblox, whatever it is they play.
Yeah, you won't be saying, you won't be saying that when you're getting teabagged by Ed 209.
Oh, fuck me. Yeah, no, it is scary shit. Jokes aside, but yeah, I'm gonna play this now because I've seen this. I know you've seen stuff in the sky, Lee. So I got I got this footage from Comfy Sofa, and don't get excited because it's not exciting. It is just dots, but I want you to watch the dots because this is what I've seen. And I said to my missus, I said, "Have you seen this?" And it was two basically things, and it were almost like they were fucking speaking to each other in the sky. And this is not airplane wings. This is zoomed in, but it's far apart. So I've got the email. So I'm going to play this now. It's just a small clip, but I find it interesting because I think this could possibly be like the drone technology talking about, or something that's way up and it's communicating with each other.
UFOs! Quick, you get your phone out.
I already have.
There won't be so much, you can't hear them. There's another flash up there then as well, like a head. I just like you all to know I spotted those first. Yeah, well. I never spot anything.
What you need now is a P1000 to look at those with.
A what? Camera that zooms really, really well. Those airplanes should hate this as well.
They're not planes. Because planes would have different coloured lights on, wouldn't they? And they'd have one at the front, one at the back, and two on the wings.
They wouldn't go together like that.
No.
Yes, definitely not. I don't think that's airplanes.
No, it's
I've
not
seen-
planes.
I've seen. You can see the planes. You can see the flashing on the wings. You can see that you don't just see the one dot. But I've seen something very similar to that up in the sky, where I've seen two dots that were probably the space of my finger in the sky apart. So if that was two wings, those would be like big motherfucking wings.
Doesn't it look
and
fireflies? I know they're further
they could-
away than that, but it looks
Oh
like
yeah,
fireflies.
it was literally like I got the email pointing the camera up in the air, and there's some follow up footage that I think he's going to send me at some point from that he's shifting through. But I find it interesting when you're saying about drones, because what if like some of these drones are like that is them testing this kind of like tech up there, and it cause I when I ever think about aliens and the flashing lights, I just don't think it's that they would do the whole like woo, we're here, like, you know. I just don't. Why would they like do that?
For
Or
alien
Close
parties.
Encounter style.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I fucking love that film. But, you know, why would they do the whole flashing thing to say we're here? I'm a big believer in the whole Star Trek theory that, you know, I forgot what they call it, the protocol, whatever it is. But
You're going to humanize them again.
well, yeah, no, because that's what we do naturally as humans, isn't it? But I just think if you are going to visit a civilization that's not as advanced as you wouldn't advertise yourself.
Do you know what happened
because
the other
First
day, Ollie?
contact.
Do you know what happened the other day? I was cooking in my kitchen and I found under the chopping board there was like a good like 7 or 8 ants that were all together getting sugar. Then I realized there was another couple on the side. I followed them back, and there was a little ant's nest on the window outside my outside my house. I didn't observe them, Ollie. I fucked that shit up with ant killer.
I feel bad for them ants.
I didn't fucking care, like about. I didn't get an erection, but I didn't care about them. I just got rid of them. I don't see why something that's come that far away would be particularly bothered. We wouldn't be bothered, even though we made that fucking Star Wars thing for our stuff. If we found a little tribe on Mars that was like a caveman tribe, we would interfere with that.
You think it'd be like the Na'vi in fucking Avatar? We would do that shit.
I don't even think you have to do that. I think you just have to look at how countries have conquered other places. We haven't done it on Earth, let alone done it do it on other planets. Sooner or later, those poor fuckers would be on top of something that we wanted, and we would be promptly removing them from it. We're predators at the end of the day. You know, I think that's what people sometimes forget about people, because we can make nice like couches and nice paintings, and now and again we eat candy floss,
comfy sofas.
We're fucking predators.
Can I ask about that footage that you just shown? Where was that shot from? Do you know?
Comfy sofa sent me it.
Did he shoot it?
He shot it, yeah.
Comfy sofa. Where did you shoot it from? What part of? I take it you're from the UK, but what part? I've seen that phenomena before, and it's very interesting. And
I've seen it as well.
That phenomenon is worldwide. I've seen it in South America. I've seen it in America. I've seen it in China.
I've never seen it before.
I have. I've seen loads of footage of that, and it's always perplexed me. The reason why I don't show it is because I kind of have a rule about showing these dots in the sky at night, because the nighttime hides a multiple of sins. So it could be many things.
I could fake that up in half an hour. I'm not saying Comfy's faked it up, but it is very easily fakeable. So you've got to be careful about what you're showing people, whether it's stills or otherwise.
That's it. But to me, I live in this world where, yes, things possibly can be fake, but not everything out there surely is fake.
No, it's not fake. That I got the original file.
Yeah, no, I don't think Comfy's faked that at all. That looks genuine in the sense that there is something.
Yeah, because there's no swings, there's no roundabouts. It's just a few flashing lights.
The fact that you think that's genuine and not fake. Michael Horn is doing fucking backflips in his house after he heard that.
Michael, come join us. Come on, come say hello.
Come on, Michael.
Is he not emailed again yet?
Is what?
He might have emailed again.
No, he's traveling. He's in his gap year.
Whereabouts was that film, Comfy?
Oh yeah, I don't need to send you this, Stu. It's just a very simple words that he's just sent. It says Stu's a twat.
Yes, he hasn't popped up in the comments yet.
At least 100 feet apart. Bloody hell.
Yeah, I think, don't get me wrong, I think it's fascinating. To see that with your own eyes in the sky would be like really something. But it's like you say, it's the same with the little the dots of light in the sky. There's only so much conclusion you can get from seeing more dots in the sky, isn't there?
Yeah. That's why, but I do. There are some. I did see one coming out of South America, and it started off like that with these twinkles in the sky, and then they moved. They were moving around, and they did look like big objects. I didn't get permission for the footage. The guy wouldn't give me permission, but that's how it goes sometimes.
It's sort of like the dots in the sky one. The last one I saw that I liked was the one that you guys from the Bigfoot hunters that came on the show, Ollie. Who's your guy from New York? He had the goatee. Did it?
Unidentified S4. Paranormal. He's gonna
he had the video, didn't he, of the triangle. That was the it was 3 lights together in like a triangle formation. that came down across the screen, and as it got just to the bottom of the screen, you could see the angle slightly change of the lights, and it looked like it was sort of kind of banking to move, like that. It was
Is that the
it was-
one out in was it Mexico? Memory
No.
serves me?
He took it himself. He took it. It was in. Yeah, I mean, I think he's from Long Island, so I'm taking it was
Okay.
somewhere around that. But yeah, he took it himself.
No, good bunch of fellas. Oh, by the way, we've been invited to go. They want to set up a time that suits us, Lee, for June.
Oh, for June, yeah.
No,
Cool.
was it July? I'll check the email.
Yeah, sort it out, mate. Well, I'll make myself available
Bristol.
for whenever you want me to do it.
Yeah,
Thank
see
you.
that.
Thank you for telling me that.
Bristol.
I just like to know these things because I keep it in my mind. Like when I see because that's a genuine phenomena that's going on, and you know I'm not trying to take it away from you because it's great that you had this experience of seeing it, but this is a worldwide phenomena that really can't put my finger on it because
I
they're
bet you
definitely
get a
in
lot
planes.
of that, don't you? The flashing dots sent hidden.
I don't get them sent, but I do find them. I do see them.
Can I ask? See, comfy sofa. Can you just ask? Was it like a cloudy night or a clear night? See what he says.
Good point.
Not that it matters. It's just that if it was a cloudy night, my brain sort of leans towards maybe it's some kind of electrostatic phenomena in the clouds. If it's a clear night, then holy shit, I don't know.
I have seen them on. I have seen them. I have seen them on clear nights.
So we
the
talk
footage.
like swamp gas, weather balloon, electrostatic.
But swamp gas would only occur in swamps.
No, it's a joke. It's a joke.
Oh,
Sorry.
I deal with this every day, man. So sorry.
Hidden, I wouldn't feel sorry for not.
You guys need to watch Third Phase of Moon with Dr. Greer. Yeah, we've kind of done that. We're going to talk about it, I think.
Yes, I watched it.
I haven't watched it yet.
Should we play the Greer's new film trailer?
Yeah, on you go.
Let's lead in with that first. So. I have a soft spot for Greer. I don't know why. I do. I enjoy watching him on screen.
You remember when he was like jacked, though, don't you?
Yeah.
We all love Jack Greer because he looked like Jack Flanders.
Stephen, if you copyright strike me for this, for playing your trailer, I'm not buying your film.
You even wrote to him.
Unidentified flying objects is an obfuscating term.
This is an alternative energy and propulsion device. Between the late 1800s and now, the ingenious inventions and sciences have all been ruthlessly suppressed, confiscated.
It reads like a James Bond movie, but it's real. They happened here in the United States.
We mastered gravity control here on Earth, not extraterrestrial. These are projects that are off the radar, even of the people who manage the Black Project.
When someone asks me how bad is the crisis, I kind of don't know where to begin.
So there's something nefarious afoot.
These technologies would end fossil fuels, pollution, and poverty overnight.
That's pretty intriguing.
This lost century of technologies that have existed, that have vanished, is the biggest cover-up and scandal in the history of the world.
Do you think they paid Fred Durst through Cameo?
They probably deepfaked his voice.
I mean,
like, fundamentally, right? What Greer's saying there, I think, is correct. I think we do have technology that could change the world. I think there is. I think scarcity in most cases is manufactured. And, it doesn't take a fucking idiot to realize that there's like I'll keep the tinfoil hat on and say like a hidden hand which pulls and pushes us. Yeah, sorry.
Never mind. I was having a joke. Carry on.
Which like pulls and pushes us in various directions. So if that's what he's saying, right, great. But it's you can kind of see he's changing his grift slightly, isn't he? Because he's gone away.
This is an old grift coming back.
No, yeah, no, it is. But when he did it last time, he was still Space Brothers. It's all about the Space Brothers, and they want to help us and can't help us. Now it's just deep state. The deep state are keeping it from us.
Yeah, he's evolving.
Yeah, it's now he's actually turning. He's changing from a ufologist into a mainstream conspiracy theorist.
Changing it to David Icke.
Maybe not David Icke.
Don't give it. I like Icke.
Well, I mean, to be perfectly honest, the thing is, over the last 2 years, a lot of conspiracy theories become mainstream news. So that I think that's why he's going down this road. So what he's saying isn't wrong, but for a grift to work, it's got to be partly based in truth anyway, isn't it?
Yeah, there's pinch of salt, truth, and the rest all bullshit. But I mean, he's going to. I watched the last documentary the Cousins brothers put together of him, and it's the same shit as the one before, and it's the same shit that you can actually find on Greer's channel. It's the same information, just regurgitated. This time, like the last documentary, they had him in the back of a car and wandering around Washington, D.C. as if he'd just come from the White House, which he's probably never been anywhere near in his life, unless he got a tour or something one time. But it's the same bullshit. I mean, maybe I'm getting a bit jaded already because I've been researching the guy.
He briefed presidents.
Yeah, bollocks. I've done an interview with 2 different people that would disagree with you.
Like I think Campion's mentioned it many times that recently he's briefed the president because he sent a package to off or something like that.
Yeah.
Anybody can brief. Anybody can brief a president.
Yeah.
And, you know, brief the president. It's like I could say President Sim. I could say our Prime Minister seen my dick, you know. Took a picture, sent it. It may have arrived, it may have not, but I could go.
He would have got it.
I mean, weird flex. I'm not going to lie. It's a weird flex.
Never mind.
Oh, Rushy boy.
Yeah, he would have definitely seen it. That would have been his whole campaign.
Check out this, Richie. There's some recession on this.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
The thing is, with Stephen Greer, and I've always had this ongoing joke with the Homer Simpson thing, and I've always put things up about Stephen Greer. I really fucking enjoy actually listening to him, and I know
he is a guilty pleasure.
You want to believe. That's why.
Yeah, I was all in on Greer a long time. Well, not that far back. If I'm honest, I was probably still doing YouTube when I was into Greer. In fact, I was.
I thought he was a grifter up until that documentary where he faked crying at the end, and he just did a 2-hour documentary about his fucking meditation app.
I thought that was a great cry.
It wasn't a great cry. No one cries with one fucking tear.
Was there only one? I didn't
yeah, and after that part, I just thought, it's just clearly bullshit. It's clearly bullshit. But it is what it is. I get it though. I get what he's doing. Like the UFOs have literally, as far as a serious subject, have never been bigger. It's been talked about more because of science fiction, like X-Files and stuff. It's been like bigger as sort of a social presence, but as an actual, you can sit down in a pub and you can bring UFOs up to somebody and they might go, oh yeah, but you can go, yeah, but like they're talking about it in Joe Rogan, and like there was a thing in the New York Times about it, and you can give some credible stuff over, not like fucking Jimmy Hillbilly got butt fucked by one, you know, which you probably did. So I get why he's doing it. You know, it's the topic right now.
Question for everybody in the chat and everybody here right now. Do you think Stephen Greer believes in it? I'm not going to say believes what he's saying, because I know he knows he's skirting around some bullshit. I know he knows that. But do you think he still or if ever, do you think he believes in the subject, or do you think it's always been a grift?
If he starts pumping climate change, I think he's part of the club, if I'm honest. There was a lot of oil refineries and stuff like that, and there was a lot of storms there. And if he starts using climate change to promote, we need free energy, and there's always that's the thing about him as well. And I'm very wary of people like this right now. There is always that touch of communist, utopia. If we can just do these things, everything can be perfect. And it kind of, to me, reeks like World Economic Forum nonsense, that sort of stuff.
That's what he's. That's always what he's. That's always what he's.
Yeah, I'll say for the audio podcast. Dark Skyfile's just chimed in. I think he's talked himself into believing this subject because he's been in it for 30 plus years. That's a fact. Yeah, I look. We were talking about Michael Horn before. I think he's in exactly the same boat. It's Greer's identity. Greer's identity is Greer the UFO hunter.
And also, isn't that
that guy sent you an invite just in case you're home?
Isn't that rule number one of the con, is to believe the con? Because if you're trying to fool everybody, you have to fool yourself first.
Well, it's why psychopaths are such good liars, isn't it?
And there are so many of them walking around.
Because not every Hidden. Do you believe him? Do you believe he believes what he's saying?
I don't know enough about the guy.
No, don't give me that shit. Come on.
I don't.
Honestly,
I honestly don't know enough about the guy. I don't listen to him.
I'll give you a reason not to believe him.
I don't listen to him, so I don't really. To be honest, I'm not being rude about this guy. I know I always say this about people like Greer. What they've done is they've made people look up. They made people pay attention to the phenomena, to the subject. And that I'm thankful for, that these people are doing this. But I don't know enough. The only thing that I always say, and I'll say it again, is be careful of the CE5, because that is an old type of a magical practice. And you just don't know what you're conjuring up there. And I know he's got it from ancient magic. I know this. And I always say, just be careful of that. But other than that, I think there's a lot of grifting going on. Is he one? He could be. Or maybe not. He might. But I do believe that, like what Dark Sky said, he's been at this for 30 years. He's invested in it. He can't just turn around now and say, you know what? It ain't real.
You can't believe in the CE5.
I believe in the CE5. I believe that you can do this. But I believe that what you're conjuring up there ain't. You're going to call it UFOs, but like I always said, there's different degrees of these objects. They're not all necessarily from outer space. They're not necessarily from the ocean. They're not necessarily all coming from one place. I believe there's different facets. That's why there's different kind of ships or different kind of crafts. And I believe these orbs that we see, that the CE5 does bring out, because I've seen footage of people doing this and filming the objects that they do conjure up.
I think the thing is as well, is not
I'll stop there.
No, but I think the thing with the CE5 thing as well is to stop calling it CE5, because it is just a type of meditation. It's not something he's developed or he is like worked out on his own.
But he's charging you $9.99 for it.
Yeah,
or is that more?
Yeah, he's taken a meditative practice, which I'm sure there is countless people on YouTube that will talk you through the same ways of meditating, and he's slapped a different name on it and packaged it differently, and he's selling it to you.
Well, because from what I understand now, he's kind of got it from the Indian shamans. It's their kind of way that they do it.
Mm.
I don't know what it is. Sorry, I don't know what he's doing because I've never looked into it, and I really don't want to. So, but I just always say, people, please be careful in what you're doing, because you just never know what you're going to be calling up on. And as you know, I believe in the paranormal side of things, and this is very paranormal side of things.
Yeah. See, not to be like a drama farmer. It's not my style, I don't think. But the other reason to think that he is like grifting, like proper grifting now, is his choice of filmmakers. And that's not, I'm not knocking their work particularly or anything like that. But when you have a UFO channel, which is very popular, don't get me wrong.
What are you talking about?
Third Face of Moon. You need to make some new ones. They're getting old. But play
on Blake, he'll never get old. Every time I put that up, Blake sends me a message saying, "Love it, love it."
Good. Right. This isn't. It's not necessarily a knock on Third Phase of Moon, because Third Phase of Moon are doing what they do. I personally look at them as entertainment. So people are going there, they're being entertained, they're doing the job. However, there is questions about the content and the validity of the content that goes on that channel.
Mm-hmm.
So if you wanted to be taken seriously on the world stage talking about UFOs, then you probably wouldn't be involved with people that are known fakers of UFOs. Doesn't make sense to me, that, unless you wanted to get people that were, for want of better words, corrupt, so you could get in a room and go, right, lads, how are we selling this steamy pile today?
Or could it be simply like this? Blake and Brent have got it. They've got it down to a path of how to do these documentaries and do them in a quick style.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
They can do a documentary. They could do a documentary in a couple of months. There
is a myriad of people, and there's people I know, in fact, that could do a better job of making those documentaries and probably use less stock footage. But that
was my only thought, is because they can do it quick.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm sure, and they do it quick. But that's the thing. You're talking about supposedly like world-changing content. Like that's because what he's selling is, I want to change the world. I want to save the world. That's pretty big. You know, that's.
Can I just address this? And it's not just because it's super chat, but I want to say thank you for the super chat anyway. Thank you, Jen. But how are we doing CE5? Is that what we're going to do when we go to the States? Are we doing something similar? I know we're gonna go UFO hunting. I don't know how we're seeing them UFOs, but Dave says we're guaranteed to see UFOs.
We're not. There's nothing guarantees. We're gonna go.
He said you're guaranteed. I'm sure he did.
It's not sinful. It's not sinful. It's just be careful. It's not sinful. I mean, if you look at if you take just a little story from the Bible, Jesus did a form of that when he just before he was about to be crucified, before they took him away, he got on his knees in the garden, and you remember he prayed till blood was coming out of him. So this practice isn't sinful. It's a higher kind of level.
Do you believe in it though? Do you definitely believe that it can be done? And
I believe that. Yeah. I believe it's a form of conjuring. That's all it is. It's a form of conjuring. You put yourself in a state of meditation where you open yourself up to what is around you. Now, what is around you could be other dimensions, other things that you opened yourself up. It's kind of like, say, how a medium would work. How they open themselves up to a spirit and then they then invite the spirit in to talk through them.
Yeah,
but because
think about psychedelics being in a like a
gateway,
a cheat code to what
That's what Corbell used.
meditation
Like,
is.
You know, he said to the guy at Area 51, didn't he? He said, "We'll see some. Let's take some mushrooms. We'll see some motherfucking UFOs."
Yeah,
indeed. It is something that opens up your mind.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you look at the old Indian tribes, and I think they still do it now. They used to take natural kind of psychedelics to get in tune with their spirits, their ancestors, all sorts of things. So, you know, there's something to be had.
What if that was Bob Lazar, like when he was taking people out to the desert, like, and he was
spiking their drinks?
Well, we've seen little bits of footage of what that was, but you know, that man knew his chemicals. I'm wondering if he kind of like said, "Come on, I'll show you some fucking UFOs."
But drink this water first.
have a little sip of this.
Bob Lazar strikes me as the type of guy that looks dead nerdy and nerdy and boring. But when you actually speak to him and he starts to talk about things, you'd find out that he'd like took more ease than the Happy Mondays on a regular basis.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, he's fucking parties. You can tell.
Yes.
Yeah. I like him already. Then.
Yeah, Stu's looking into him. Like,
I'm just actually having a look at something else.
Are you good? Have you gone down some rabbit holes with Lazar recently?
Yeah, I've kind of dipped down a couple. As I said to you all around the show, I've gone from being quite a Lazar believer to I think he's full of shit now. So that's
was it literally the research you did on the Myers case that turned you off Lazar?
Yeah, I came across a Reddit thread where somebody had actually like gathered probably maybe 100 or more links to different bits of evidence that proved that Lazar was talking shit. And the one thing he always gets tripped up on is his education. And like, there's literally stuff on Reddit that shows you he was at a community college when he's supposed to be 2,500 miles away at MIT. So you can't be at one or the other. And the people he worked for at Los Alamos dealt with technicians. They didn't deal with physicists, employing physicists or anything. And he's been on like the record saying that he like put up a satellite or something at Los Alamos, and that's the kind of thing a technician would do. That's not something a physicist would bother with.
Is he the one that they keep on saying he's a janitor? He was a janitor.
Well, a janitor's custodian type thing, as they call it in America, is a bit sort of more. Oh God, what do they call it? Like, see the technicians you get in schools that dish out the chemicals for your experiments in the lab.
They get stuff ready for the teacher.
Yeah. I think it's more that kind of thing. And gathering, repairing computers and different bits and pieces.
Which would explain where, without formal education, he could have picked up some pretty decent knowledge about things as well.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Lazar's stupid. I mean, if you look at like what he does with United Nuclear, his business, I mean, they deal in all manner of different chemicals and materials, and some of which are radioactive and stuff like that. I mean, you've got to have like quite a lot of licenses to be doing that. And he's not a dafty. There's no doubt about, he's a smart guy, but I don't know his reasoning behind why he did the whole S4 thing. I don't know whether it was like a bet with Lear or whoever. Or it's just we'll never ever find out, because he'll take this to his grave. So
all the money.
Do
Yeah.
you think he will? Do you think he'll keep? You think he'll take that to the grave?
Yeah, totally. There has been little changes in his story over the years if you really, really dig deep on it. But for the most part, he's remained pretty rock solid, which is quite remarkable because usually, telling a lie for that length of time, you do tend to slip up. I mean, like Corbell's documentary, when he says, I've never made any money out of it, I mean, that's a straight up fucking lie, because he used to sell videos of his story. He's now selling posters. He has done some lectures that he made money on, and there's the royalties he got off of the model kits and stuff like that. So he has made money on it over the years.
I need that money.
I don't know. Can you still get it?
Yeah, I think Rogan got one.
Did he? I don't know.
But Rogan got one, didn't he?
Yeah, but that it's not like it's a thing based on Lazar. It's not like a Lazar thing. Right. He found it. Someone was making them. They found it live on the show actually, and he ordered one. But
I mean, I can see how Rogan's been sucked into it. It does. I mean, thing is, George Knapp's got to cling on to what Lazar's saying as well, and because otherwise his credibility as a journalist will go down the tubes. I mean, I don't know how credible or not credible he is as a journalist over there, but I mean, he is an anchor on a news show in Las Vegas. Sorry, so I mean, he's got to have some credibility, towards him, and obviously he's quite clearly mentoring Corbell to kind of to pick up the baton and carry it on when he retires.
Hello, Paula, member. Thank you.
But
do you know what the thing is called? Because there's a little bit of me wonders whether Lazar is like a plant to tell his story. That there was someone out there that wanted this out, and he might be some sort of intelligence. Do you know what
chances are, with the nature of what he's done in terms of like help setting up brothels and stuff like that, and he has been in trouble with the law, he might have got in trouble financially, and it could well be he's been, tied up with the CIA in terms of, telling the story to put out disinformation.
Well, my thought about that was actually the brothels, because have you ever heard of Operation Midnight Climax?
No, sounds like fun.
It sounds amazing.
It was a CIA honey trap where what they would do is they set brothels up, and then they would get important targets to come in. They would hook them up with girls, but then when they were having a drink before they took the girls upstairs, they would dose them with LSD, and then under the influence of LSD and getting ridden to the ground by one of the whores, they would film it and try and find things out. Like she'd ask them questions when they were doing it and stuff like that.
Did that not get stopped because somebody threw themselves out a window or something?
I can't remember why.
I'm pretty sure. That rings a bell. Somebody ended up throwing them, like literally went mental and had a breakdown and threw themselves out a window and got killed, and that nailed it on the head.
Very, very possibly. But that was my thing with him having two brothels as well. I wonder if he was already embedded.
It wouldn't shock me if he was like from the CIA and he's been put out to pasture with this information, and he got a stipend, a backhand or whatever. He gets paid to show up every so often, once a decade or whatever, and spill out more disinformation. I don't know. I'm just guessing at this point. But I don't believe his story as much as I did before. And when you look back at the S4 stuff and you look at like some of the films that were out at the time, and like things like the Demon Core back in the Manhattan Project days, you can piece the whole thing together of, what he's talking about.
Yeah.
As if it is just a story.
I genuinely, right? This has come up a couple of times over the last couple of weeks since we're doing podcasts. I don't think enough is fucking mentioned that part of the Manhattan Project was called the fucking Demon Core. I think that fucking needs addressed more.
Yeah, it is odd to say
I think
the least.
it wasn't called the Demon Core originally. I think it got called the Demon Core a bit like in Chernobyl. There's the elephant's foot,
Right, okay.
the radioactive crap. I think it wasn't called that during the time. I think it got named that after it killed 3 or 4 people,
Right.
exposing them to high gamma radiation or whatever the fuck it was. But I mean, like, go back to Greer for a second, just to kind of thing me on him. I think when he was still a doctor, he believed in UFOs. I think he believed in them right up to the point where he did the press club stuff prior to 9/11. And he probably got quite a bit of notoriety, which rapidly disappeared because of what happened on September the 11th. And he needed to build it all back up again. And I think the minute and second he went full time with it and had to make a living off of it. I mean, the guy's got quite a substantial looking house. You know, he's got a reasonable amount of land, and he's obviously used to a certain lifestyle. So to maintain that, you've got to keep the grift going. And I think that's why now it's more about the money. It's like anything, you know, it's like I'm a photographer, but you get plenty of people who just do it as a hobby. But the minute and second you do it to make a living at it, it changes you. You know, it does alter, you know, the way you perceive things and how you try and make money and stuff like that.
See, I get what Lee's saying, like with the third phase thing. Like when there's already questions being asked.
There's enough credible filmmakers out there that could do as good, if not better, job, probably for fucking nothing as well.
But at the same time,
Greer's using those boys. I'll tell you that right now.
Yes,
of course.
That's exactly what.
100%.
So
Greer has more to give.
But it works out. It works out on both ends of. You know, it's a good relationship.
Yeah,
hand washes the back.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy for him.
They're scratching each other's backs, but the minute and second that Greer's the one that's got all the power, and the minute and second that the Cousins brothers fuck up, or they no longer become useful, or they become too expensive for Greer, that's it. You know, because like the first
I don't think they'd be expensive for him.
I think they're pretty much free, because I think they've worked out now. I mean, that last documentary seems to have done really, really well, and they haven't even punted it to Prime or Netflix at the moment to like just make streaming bucks as yet. It's just purely been rentals. It's on rental now, but purely been sales. And because the production company that like effectively packages it up for distribution, and Apple and Google and all these places and that, they're only maybe charging $5,000 to do that. You know,
I take it for it's probably more expensive, but for publishing documentaries, it's the same as if I was to publish an album. You know, I'd use something like CD Baby or something like that, which would then push it out to the various companies
you've got to have a production company under in your pocket that basically has a relationship with the different streaming companies a lot, like or like an entertainment agent or an entertainment lawyer, because the likes of like I could never get a documentary on Netflix at the moment in a month of Sundays, even if I had a full film crew, the right cameras, and shooting everything the way they want it to be shot, unless you've got somebody that has the ear of the person that buys the footage on Netflix, you're never going to be seen. And
but
it's
isn't
very
it easier with Amazon though? Isn't it easier to get stuff on Amazon than it is Netflix?
Oh, Amazon, you can self-publish. I mean, that's
because that's what they do, isn't it? They don't really. You can't get it on like Apple. I don't. Can you buy it on the Apple Store?
The last few documentaries they've had it on Apple, they've had it on Google Play, they've had it on YouTube,
I know it's on Amazon. Yeah, I know it's on Amazon.
But when they first started doing it, they self-published some of their longer third phase videos onto Amazon Prime, because you could watch them for a while, but they've taken them off since. But they're going to make a decent amount of money out of this. I mean, I don't know if it'll make them millionaires, but let's just say it'll keep the lights on for a good, 18 months.
Greer's a name, man. I mean, there's like, I get it. I don't. I think I've said.
Would you do it? Would you do it? Would you say if okay?
I couldn't suck Greer off just to make a living on YouTube.
Right. Okay. So somebody approaches us and said, "Listen, I'm going to pay you X amount of pounds. I need you to say this on your channel." You don't agree with it?
I don't think I could do it.
That's where me and you fall out then.
Yeah.
So I disagree as well.
And that's where you've got a face full of Greer mess.
No, do you know the difference? You're a self-employed painter decorator, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. So you're self-employed, but you've got a job. So you're not reliant upon making money doing Alien Addict.
No, absolutely, yeah.
And neither's Ollie.
Neither of us are. It's a hobby, and if we've both
It's a
said,
hobby, yeah.
If you want to support the channel, Barnes
There
here.
we go.
Jen, thank you.
But my point is, you might change your attitude as if this was your only way of making money.
No, yeah, I know, I absolutely get that. Yeah, that's the thing. I like,
and that's not me sticking up for the Cousins brothers. That's just a fact.
I like to think I would stick by my morals. What I do think is, I don't think I'm a good enough liar. I don't think I don't think I could. I don't think I could do this sort of stuff if I wasn't being honest.
No, I couldn't do it with a straight face. I mean, that's why on my little tiny video editing channel, I haven't made that many appearances in person. I've done a few. There's a video up actually at the moment where I talk to the camera, but mostly it's just audio tutorials and what's going on in the iPad screen that you see. But I'm going to have to start doing more in-person appearances. And part of the reason why I do this with you guys is to build up a little bit of confidence to be able to sort of do lives and that on my own channel.
Mate, your work's freaking awesome.
Yeah,
don't want to blow smoke up your ass, but what you did, I mean, I've seen the stuff that you do on your channel, but you
be careful. You save some lips for Greer.
Yeah, somebody just said there. I would gobble that Greer. Yeah, well, why not? But I do want to say here, Jen, thank you very much for the very generous donation there. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Jen.
It wasn't his free energy
Jen.
debate before climate change? Did she mean a trend there? I think. Was he trending?
Yeah, I know. I know what you mean, Jennifer, and you're absolutely right. But what I mean is, I think he's going to fold some of the new grift into his own grift.
Yeah,
and he's going to change his. Because I mean, that's the thing. Like, it was obviously that was heavily UFO thing there, but in that trailer, there was no real hint to to these being extraterrestrial craft. It was all, we've mastered gravity on Earth. They're keeping technology from us.
Oh, he's definitely moving his narrative in the same way that I've gone from solely making images for a living to doing video editing.
In the same way, David
freelance.
David Icke stopped talking about the lizards.
Yeah, when you're freelance, you've got to move with the times and change your business strategy and just update your skill set. And he's just doing it in a different way.
Yeah,
it might well be the CE5 stuff in the app isn't making as much money as it used to, and he's leaning onto some. Is he not doing something like back at the press club again as part of this documentary? Am I right in saying that?
Oh, he said something about it today.
So you've watched the.
Oh yeah, it was today he was going on about that. Yeah,
Blake and Brent's interview, haven't you? You watched that?
Yeah, sorry. Yes, I watched that this afternoon. So that's where he was talking about the press club.
I think, is that going on in June or July or something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
So you're going to get apparently a load of whistleblowers. I'm looking forward to it. You know what I'm looking forward to? It's content.
Yeah, it's something to talk about. It's
We've
something for me
got
to stick in my
something to moan
documentary.
about, you know. When that comes out, we've got something to. There is one case that Greer did speak about briefly in that interview with Blake, and there's an interview I've seen, and I'll be honest, I may have been quite vulnerable when I watched that in terms of being a part of the UFO community. It's with an ex military guy that witnessed a craft like basically stuck into the side of a mountain. And it sounds so bizarre, but the way I remember this interview, and I can't find this interview anywhere on YouTube, which is
Is
weird.
this the stuff that he was talking about effectively today, the South Korea thing?
I think it was South Korea, yeah. It's the ex-military officer that I don't think it was an officer. I think it was just like a normal army guy, whatever you call the normal army guys. But he saw something in the side of a mountain. I've seen that interview years ago. After watching Greer on Third Phase, I tried to find that interview and find that guy, and I can't find it. And I've seen that. I've seen that interview.
Interesting.
But it was nothing to do with Greer, that interview. I remember the interview, and it was somebody filming this ex-army guy, and he's talking about this something that was stuck in the side of the mountain, and loads of these Marines got ill. So I mean,
it's kind of similar to the Phil Snyder stuff in a way, but
we've never gone down that rabbit hole on this channel, but we need to.
Oh, that's a deep rabbit hole, Phil Snyder. Jesus.
Yeah,
I haven't actually looked into that.
I've wasted a few Saturdays on Phil Snyder.
Let's do a Sunday show.
Not this Sunday.
No, not this Sunday, because this Sunday we've got speaking of Lazar, yeah, we're doing a guy's releasing a documentary Monday, and we're interviewing him this Sunday. So there you go. The interview is going to be called.
I might be into this then.
Yeah, well, Stu, you're welcome to join us, mate. You're welcome to join us.
I can't do it this Sunday. I'm actually going to have to bounce soon because I'm filming tomorrow, so I need to get some.
No worries.
But no, if I wasn't working on Sunday, I would join you on Sunday night. But I'm afraid I'll be.
But I only say that because I know you're doing the documentary, mini documentary on Lazar. So
yeah, I mean that only kind of was born out of. I didn't even know you were having this guy on Sunday. I've seen another YouTuber who's done stuff on Corbell, and it was mainly to do with Lazar UFO flying saucers, whatever it was called, Area 51 doc thing. And I thought that's worth another punt at because this other YouTuber missed out on a whole load of points that could have been picked up on. So I've kind of come across, as I say, interviews with Stanton Friedman, but the footage originally was really, really shit. But I've since actually run it through an AI cleanup and also cleaned up the audio. So it's like really, really sweet like sounding now, and it's not annoying to listen to. So I'm kind of going to include some of that in it as well, and use that as a sort of backbone of the mini doc. But I'm not going to put it out as quickly as I did for the Billy Meier stuff because that was more, sort of having a little pop at Michael, I have to say.
Do you think we're going to see more of this AI stuff pop up on YouTube when it comes to UFOs and aliens that you've just made in, 5 minutes?
You are going to get people faking the crap out of everything under the sun. I mean, deep fakes. Likes of James Earl Jones has given up the rights to his voice for Darth Vader. Bruce Willis has sold the rights to his face and voice.
You might already be seeing it. Like I don't know if you guys have seen any of the conspiracy theories surrounding Britney Spears at all at the minute. I know I put a video in our group chat, Ollie, a TikTok. I haven't been able to find this video again. She seems to have deleted. She puts like pretty fucking weird videos up on her Instagram and stuff. And it would appear that when she puts her hand in front of her face, that it fucks a filter up, because when her hand
yeah, that
comes,
can happen. So yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
So
I haven't seen it though.
It's different eyes that are underneath it. I'll send it to you. It's really fucking weird. Really weird.
But wasn't there do you remember that story about the Chinese woman that was I think she did a gaming stream, but she was getting donations, and
it was a guy.
Well, no, she was an old woman. It was an old woman,
right.
but she pretended she was a young woman. But there was some sort of malfunction in the filter she was using, so she went on stream, and everybody could see what she really looked like.
So I did exactly the same thing as well. It was literally an old dude in his 50s, and he used voice modulation and this sort of augmented reality filter thing. And the thing is, I mean, I don't know how often you guys go on TikTok or that, but I mean, there's one called Bold Glamour.
We're on TikTok now, live.
Oh yeah, it's wild. Wild.
Oh my god! I mean, it makes them look completely different, but holy fuck, you know, it's flawless. You know, that is scary shit. Being able to do that.
Yeah. You know, the other interesting thing I was looking at with the Britney Spears thing as well, just while we talk about this, which I think it's quite an interesting coincidence, is that one of the videos she put up, she put like a little blurb of what she was doing up, and then code and a few digits after it. Obviously, Internet hive mind gets on this, and it was a hex code. Hex code is the color codes for the US. You know how we have RAL numbers. For,
hexadecimal system. I use it in graphics and stuff.
Well, I don't know what it is.
The number she put up for the hex code that was there was the same green you use for green screens.
Right.
It's such that on its own is odd, but that and the idea that this might not be Britney Spears, and it might be somebody in a studio making Britney Spears videos.
But is there not a similar conspiracy about Avril Lavigne?
No, there was a conspiracy theory that she died, like the Paul McCartney one, that she died.
Yeah,
she looks the same age. She literally
doesn't.
She was playing in Manchester the other day, and I saw some of the concert footage online. And trust me, she's older looking.
Yeah, she's got a good makeup artist, and she wears the right clothes, and she's still really hot.
She looks good. Yeah, she's hot. She is.
Listen, guys, I'm gonna have to bounce. I'll let you blather on, and I'll catch up with you.
No,
see you later, Captain.
Everybody, go support Stu if you're in the community.
Okay, if you want, Michael, drop you an email.
I will do, mate. And if if anybody wants Stu does a bit of work for YouTubers. Charges a pretty penny.
Yeah, I edit for YouTubers as well.
There you go. Go check him out, people. It's in the description. Stu, awesome, mate.
Right, cheers, guys. Bye, catch you later.
Watch Michael's going to jump on now.
I know.
Hey, Mike.
And Mike was hidden underbelly all along.
I know. I use my AI.
Oh well. The artificial intelligence thing. That's terrifying.
Well, I think we have been seeing it. I mean, it's just that at the moment, I agree. Give it about 6 months, they'll perfect it. But I'm
going to invite Sheila's alien and also
Steve Cambion,
that UFO chick in. But I want Sheila in if she comes in. We've got about half an hour left because she does loads of work with AI. Loads of it, like videos, everything, like with AI, and it'd be interesting to. Or if you can't make it, Sheila, another show we'll do an AI thing because.
Did you see
I'm worried.
Did you see the AI pictures that they did of the King's coronation, the after party? Did you see any of those?
No.
Well, they did some good ones, but the problem that they're still having the same problem. If you look at the people in the background, they haven't got the faces right.
Yeah, but this is like.
But in 6 months, they will have it.
I think that I was listening to a thing today about it, and Google and it was another company basically said that they can't. They think they've already lost the AI war because the big companies can't keep up with the independent open source stuff. And I think that's the most wild thing about it is it feels like it's a proper genie in a bottle. You know, it's got out now. Like and people are just going to run with it. And this is the thing, like we talk about like DARPA making like a super intelligent AI or Google doing it or something like that. I don't think Skynet comes from fucking Google or Apple or that. I think it comes from somebody's back fucking garden shed. Some fucking genius working online on a dark web fucking Discord server.
Well, that's where Apple fucking came from.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah,
from a fucking shed.
Well, it's where every company get. Well, I mean, there's arguments there how much help those things had. You know, you even look at Facebook. You know, you can you can form a pretty good conspiracy theory about the fact that Facebook was already a system that was developed by the CIA and then given to Zuckerberg to use and to promote and to bring out as an information collecting tool.
See, I heard it was the other way around.
Yeah, I think that was long and developed before Zuckerberg.
Didn't he get some sort of honorary award? Isn't he called like Agent Overlord?
Yeah, the idea was that he was given that by the CIA who developed it, and then he brought that out in his campus as like this small like campus chat thing, and then it slowly grew into what Facebook is now, which is basically hell on earth. But I think that's where AI gets me is where the people that are going to be dipping into it like privately.
Do you not think though that this AI tech that we're using now as civilians has probably been around for fucking years? I mean years. No, when it comes to like military, because they're always.
I don't believe this. We're 50 years ahead. I don't believe it. Because private industry is wasting its time, and private industry does things better than the government.
Yeah, but also the kind of like usually.
Do you think like you work in you have?
You're telling me that they do not have better AI in industries that we have no idea that exist?
I'm not sure. No, because the companies that should be smashing AI are already saying that the private open source stuff. Sorry, open source stuff is way more advanced.
Speaking of smashing AI,
what? Don't start this again.
No, just to say, UFO chick. Most of Twitter thinks she's AI.
That's madness. Who on Twitter would pick a broad Yorkshire accent as an AI?
It's the last thing they'd expect.
Oh, come on now. It's I used to do like YouTube videos quite a bit on one of my mates' channels, but it was in a different sort of sector, and he had part of his show was ufology, and he did like a Rabbit Hole Friday thing, and he used to be on video all the time, and I used to be crazy on there. I used to be in hot tubs and all sorts. Absolute mayhem. But since that point, I've learned a lot about being online and about basically what exposure it can do for you, positive and negative. So I've obviously been asked to go on a few and stuff like that, like I've mentioned before, but I've chosen to abstain for my own.
Oh,
she's even abstaining from the rest of a sentence.
I think she's tapped her phone. But
that's it. That's all she's gonna say.
Oh,
I don't
sorry,
blame.
Alpha.
Yeah, you
It's
tap
It's 'cause I'm
mute.
in
You
bed.
tap mute, mate.
No, it's because I'm in bed. Like, I'm literally like with laptop, so I've got an early morning start tomorrow. Otherwise, I'd have.
Oh, you don't have to come on. I wasn't. I don't know. I just
Well, I
thought,
just
you know.
thought I'd say hello. You know,
I sent you and Sheila's Aliens a link
Hopefully
because
Sheila Aliens comes on and tells
I
us
love
about
Sheila.
AI.
She's great.
But no, you were making the assumption that I was an AI bot on Twitter. I couldn't not like defend my own.
I'll be honest with you. I did think you were AI before. I
It's
thought you were a
exactly
Twitter
what an
bot.
AI bot would say.
Come off it. As if. No, seriously. Sorry, I don't know what part you got up to before I accidentally moved.
So no, what we started with. So we did have. Do you know who Michael Horn is? The guy who's promotes a lot of the Billy Meier stuff.
I don't know. To be honest, I set up Twitter a while.
She keeps putting herself on mute.
It's the information.
It's the information. Love.
I genuinely aren't pressing anything, so I think one of you lot are... Maybe it's AI. They just don't want me to be part of it. That's what it is.
No, I can hear you clicking it.
I'm genuinely not. Like, I can't be possibly clicking anything. I'm lying sideways, and I haven't. Like, I'm not touching the laptop. I've just got headphones in. I promise you, because I've got, as I say, I've got a really early morning start. No, I know that you're talking about AI, and that's something that I'm trying to now. I was in one of the spaces of a night because I'm genuinely interested in keeping up to date with the times. I feel like it's speeding up at such an exponential rate that I'm going to fall behind the times before, like, even if I wait a year to understand what it is, it's moving
like
that quickly.
crypto.
Well, yeah, I should have got in the trend when it was on Joe.
No, I don't think you should have done.
No, I should have.
Look, £100 in Bitcoin when Bitcoin launched.
Oh yeah,
like
buy and sell.
No, but we are we're doing this podcast in the Bahamas. You know, that's the difference £100 could have made. We live in such a strange time when that was possible.
I wish I'd have done something.
We need to find the guy that's lost his laptop in the garbage.
Oh, he found it.
Found it? Oh no, he never.
He did. He found it, and because what did he reckon he'd? Oh, did he reckon he'd left $1 million in Bitcoin on it? Was it something like that, £1 million worth in Bitcoin?
I don't know what it was, but I just
we'll say, right? We'll say it was $1 million. So he spent like 800 grand trying to find this laptop, we'll say, and it turns out he got it wrong how much he had on it, and he only had 500 grand on it when he found it.
But how did he spend 800 grand digging in garbage?
Because he didn't work or anything. He hired people to help him. He had to. I take it you can't just go rubbing around landfills. You've got to like pay to do it.
But 800 grand. He spent
No, I know. I don't know that. Yeah, I don't know that. I don't know the numbers, but I know that his laptop was worth less than what he put into it.
Just sounds like a really good newspaper story.
It sounds like a good film, doesn't it, or something? It's a bummer that though, isn't it?
It sounds like a Tom Hanks film.
You'd be like multi-millionaire, and you get there, and you're like minus 300 grand.
Yeah.
Well, come on now. Let's while you're online, let's make the most out of you. What do you think to what's going on with? Let's make the most of you.
Go on. Earn your keep, love. Earn your keep.
Yeah, earn your fucking keep. What do you make of what's going on with Greer now? Because that's what we've just been talking about, and his new move that's coming out.
Well, I said you can meet me for dinner for 4,999 quid. You know,
mate, you only live up the road from me. I'm not paying that.
I'm talking about Greer's like $5 grand. Greer's $5 grand, and you can meet me for £1 less. I mean, it's a bargain all day long.
He's charging $5 grand to have dinner with him.
No, well, it's not quite have dinner with him, but I seen a package online that was $5 grand, and I was like, I did post something about it because it rather amused me the other day. Listen,
wow,
I'm still waiting for the fake alien invasion that he said like several years ago. Maybe that is what's happening. Who knows?
I'm in the wrong brain.
I think you've got more chance of that than anything else.
So hang about if like we legitimately like over the next few years, like say if we did an Alien Addict GoFundMe that was a Greer GoFundMe for me and Lee to spend a weekend with Stephen Greer. Do you think he'd let? Would he let us do it?
You'd need 20 grand for it.
Well, we've got 8,000 subscribers. How would you get 20 grand off 8,000 subscribers? Like, what would that be?
That's not incredible. I'm not going to help because it's not particularly difficult maths.
It's past 12 o'clock in Yorkshire. We don't have calculators.
I think I got an E in maths.
I can see the thumbnail because I'd want Scorpion from Mortal Kombat, and we could call the fundraiser "Get Over Greer."
Do you think if you just say, let's just say you did over time a fundraiser and Stephen Greer saw this fundraiser happening, do you think he'd actually let us? Like,
no, I don't. I don't think that man has.
He would.
No, I don't think he has a grain of humility in his body.
I've realised what's going on. Why I keep going on mute. My laptop keeps freezing, and because it times out itself, and then it goes to a black screen, and then it just switches off. So that's what's happening. At least I know now. But it would. If you agree to go to a CE5 and get yourself
money,
get yourself a Logan Paul buttonhole camera, you sorted, lads.
No, I think we could go. But the thing was, if he got wind of that we were doing a fundraiser to go and do it, I think our tickets would get well cancelled.
Do you know what? Why not just ask him? Like, I genuinely think a lot of people in, well, not everybody in ufology, but some people are in it for a bit of a bit of fame, and they like the extra clout it gives them being on, the more channels they're on and the more exposure they have. I don't think everybody's in it for the right reasons, and I can't possibly say who I think those people are because it's impossible to know who's in it.
That's why I invited you on.
I'm not gonna expose my deep inner thoughts on your channel for the first time I've been on it. No chance.
It's not the first time.
Not. Is it not? Not live. No, I want.
Oh, not live now.
No. I've spoke to you guys before, but not live. No. No. Do you know what I mean? I think if you're going to offer him 10 grand, of course he will. He'll give you a tour of. You honestly, I think you're overthinking the motives of some people.
Shit, sorry.
So you're saying if you pay, and he sees that,
if you pay anyone any amount of money, they're gonna say, "Yeah, come and I'll meet you."
I bet he's barely at the C5 things.
I'd love to go. I'd like to go to any. I would go to any at conferences. I looked, and I think one was about $1.5 grand. And I'm thinking about going to the Paris convention in November.
Isn't there one in London or Manchester at the end of the year?
There's one in August in Manchester, which I'm thinking of going to as well.
We need to support the UK more for that. Yeah, we should
go to that one. Well. Yeah, we should go to that.
That'd be a great night.
It would be right. No, honestly, I think I'm going to go. It's on the Twitter page. There's like a ufology for Brits. It's been posted on there. It's not that Expo.
It's not that expensive as well. I think isn't it about 20 quid all in?
Well, it's over 3 days. It depends if you want to see Ray Charles on the Friday night for a VIP experience. But I'd rather go on. Oh, I've gone off again.
Ray Charles. Who's Ray Charles?
Hang on a second. Craig Charles.
Oh, Craig Charles.
Craig Charles.
Didn't he just have a stroke out the other day? Craig Charles. Didn't he have a stroke the other week?
I don't know.
Did he?
Yeah, there's a lot of it going around. We all know.
Oh.
But
I'm on it.
He's digging too deep.
It's the Alien Expo anyway. That's in Manchester in August, and it's a 3-day event.
That. If I don't
have to pay for different tickets to get into different arenas, and I don't know. Billy Meier is there. Who else is there?
How far do you think the clout that we can pull with a YouTube channel with 8,000 subscribers on can get us?
I don't know. I could message Michael and say, listen, right? we got off on the wrong foot, but I've heard Billy Meier's there. Maybe me and Lee can turn up and give him a hand, you know.
Why don't you just buy it?
Give him a
Listen,
hand.
I'll definitely go. There's a few people I've tried to just online that want to go and said, oh, they'll say hello, whatever. And I'm definitely up for an absolute boozer afterwards, so it'd be a good laugh. But also, it might be interesting. I've never been to a UFO convention, so I think it'd be really interesting to see the dynamics of it. I don't think it's going to be obviously as crazy as the US stuff, but at the same time, I do want to go to the one in Paris because it's got like Melon there and that, and Vinny's at the one in
and it's in
November.
Paris and not Manchester.
It is, but it's I get lost in Paris. What?
We need
You'll
to go.
Wake up with a rotten hangover.
Honestly, I've been looking
so
at
deep in the
bars.
catacombs. Like
looking at all dodgy bars where I'm going to end up. If I get a flight from Leeds Bradford Airport myself, who knows when I'll get back? Honestly.
Lee, we need to go.
Make sure you wear a t-shirt with like my kidneys are worth next to nothing, something like that.
They're absolutely destroyed by whiskey.
Lee, we need to go and with your best mate, so we can have free alien tattoos, free alien addict tattoos.
Oh yeah. No, Susie would absolutely alien addict us. Yeah, yeah. She's where Bex is right now. Actually,
What, in York?
yeah. No, it's not York. She's somewhere else, but I'm not going to say.
Don't dox yourself.
I'm not going to dox somebody, but close. No, she's from your whereabouts.
Yorkshire.
Yeah,
Yorkshire.
Yorkshire. Yeah, you can probably tell I'm not an AI by now. This is just not normal, is it? But yeah, if you guys decide to go, you should be going really and like representing. There'll be loads of people, you know, in ufology, especially Brits that are going. I don't know of that many Americans that are going.
Is it on the weekend?
It's a long weekend.
What day is it on?
Jesus, I'm not the promotion team here.
I just don't. I don't normally work weekends, so we could probably make this happen.
Can't you Google it?
Earn your keep.
Jesus, get on AI. They'll tell you everything you need to know about it. And book your tickets and hotel.
Hidden, it can't be that far from you either. Come on, we could make this an absolute party, people.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should go. No, honestly, I think it'd be a great laugh. Like,
if I don't hate Ollie by the time we get back from Tennessee.
Oh, you will.
Oh yeah, you're going, aren't you? When's
if we don't get murdered, that's the other thing. If we don't get murdered, because like I love Dave, like that. I think he's great. He's one of my favorite.
We are concerned.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite people I've ever met before. But like these things happen. You see these stories online, and the next thing is Lee's documentary on Netflix.
What, you're inviting like randoms to meet you for beers as well?
I know we stopped doing that, didn't we?
We did stop doing that, yeah.
I think
we realised we were in enough danger.
Yeah, I think the things we want to kind of like take it all in. What's because I think it's more about having the experience of, because we are going out there, we are going UFO.
Because it is like it's proper like it's like Southern America, isn't it? Like I want barbecue. I was hoping we could catch a NASCAR race. Ollie really wants to go to a clan meeting. We're looking forward to it.
Well, I've been to New Orleans.
Also, it's Dave's birthday, and we're like Dave's like one of our bezies, so it's like
you've got to actually do some like ufology stuff while you're over there. You can't.
Oh
just
yeah,
be on,
definitely.
Like, a full-on barbecue and beer bender, lads.
We hopefully
Gotta be some content.
Hopefully spending the night in like a haunted hospital as well. If we can get that.
And doing edibles.
Maybe not in the hospital.
Oh, no.
Dave did actually say that. He says, we won't be doing that in the hospital.
Yeah, of course not. Fucking anyone that's ever taken a drug ever, where would you not want to take a drug? I don't know. Maybe a haunted hospital. That sounds like a bad move.
I saw some of the footage of last time Dave was in that haunted hospital, and I just can't imagine me saying while I was in that position. Can somebody pass me enough of them fucking mushrooms?
Yeah.
Because
Any chance one of those fucking jelly Care Bear things?
That scares me. It does actually scare me. There's a lot of like really, really amazing paranormal channels that I do speak to a couple of people from them, and I try and not delve too much into like the paranormal too much. I am strictly sort of ufology, but it's hard to ignore. But it just frightens me that bad that I try and just avoid it. But I know that it merges, and then you've got Bigfoot, and there's a lot of different other areas. But for me, what's more interesting is more like scientific, and it's based in ufology.
that's how I started.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh,
Then I
And
came
now,
along.
and now
he
balls
turning.
deep in fucking Bigfoot.
now,
in a haunted house in Whitby in no time.
now he doesn't even believe in UFOs.
I don't know what it is. Like, I'll be honest with you. I have no fucking idea. I know for a fact I've seen stuff in the sky, 100%. Like the footage I showed tonight, the comfy sofa sense.
I missed.
Comfy sofa. I'll show you it again. I'll show you it again. I'll play it at the end and we'll have a chat. But it literally is. It's what I've seen in the sky. It's very boring. And I don't mean that in a negative way, because I know it's real footage that he sent us, and I know it's not airplanes, and I know it's not satellites.
Oddly
it is
enough.
something speaking to each other, like fucking blinking things,
Do you know what
just
it looks
going like that.
It looks exactly like what happens when you get knocked out. You ever been knocked out before?
Only when
Is
I've
that
wanked
me?
too much.
Have I been knocked out before? Not in last,
I don't think I've ever been knocked out. No, well, as you know, I've had operations before.
Yeah, no. If you get knocked out, you get that sort of closey eye feeling, and
Yeah, you get
like,
that weird fucking
flashes and stuff.
like
Yeah,
vibration of flickers.
yeah.
I got nothing. Absolutely nothing. It went black. I woke up and it was like nothing had ever happened.
It's yeah, but it's different. It's different when you take like a bottle of
Have
rum.
you been
down
knocked out, Lee?
What?
Yeah, you've been knocked out.
Not by a person. Don't be so fucking stupid. No man has ever knocked me out. But I've been knocked out by a cricket ball.
Same as a punch, just a ball.
I just preferred a fucking punch. I will not lie. That was rough.
Yeah, only thing I've ever
I'm gonna
been
go
knocked
grab a
out.
drink, so I'll be right back. Well,
Okie
you
dokie.
can take me off if you want. I just thought I'd say hello.
No.
But yeah, see you in a bit.
Have you been knocked out, Hidden?
Yeah.
Not by weed.
Nah, yeah, I was when I was younger, I was a gobby little chappy, and I was mouthing off to an ex-paratrooper.
Oh no!
So yeah, he sparked me with one punch, and it was a bit surreal. I looked like I did it. I looked like I did a round with Mike Tyson. His one punch. His one punch, man.
Well, what are we on now? 2 hours and 15 minutes. What we taking it to, Lee? Are we just gonna like?
I'm easy. I'm good. I'm good as long as you are.
I'm good. We'll leave it for another 15 minutes. Or we'll out it with the UFO footage, which by all means.
Before we've got nothing else to talk about. What do you guys think about Elon Musk's new CEO hire for Twitter?
Who's that?
She's a member of the World Economic Forum.
Oh my God, that sounds like a bundle of not fun.
It's not
I
not
won't
great.
trust any of them motherfuckers.
It's not a great move from the bastion of free speech that do
you think I've always loved fucking Musk. Like always, I've always
the guy's reinvented electric cars and made a rocket company before he's 50. He's
I've
part,
always
you know,
been the one that's like gone to my mom. Look, watch this interview with Musk. Watch you mean? You know when he interviewed the guy from the BBC interviewed Elon Musk, and Elon Musk actually ripped him a new fucking arsehole.
the BBC guy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. With the the only time I've never seen anyone fuck that hard off Pornhub. Like,
hey, that was a fucking terror.
Wow.
That was a terrible interview. He
Yeah.
fucking did not. He had
didn't have
nowhere
anything
to go.
That interview is what happens when somebody speaks to somebody that is like vastly more intelligent than they are, and they aren't prepared for it.
Yeah.
Paul Tucker, what are you saying to us? Let's check in. You have to check in once a month or shut your account down now. Is that on Twitter? I didn't know that. I mean, to be perfectly honest, if Twitter said I had to check in every 15 minutes or they'd shut my account down, I'd probably be okay. I'm pretty fucking addicted to Twitter.
I saw the 2-year thing. I saw the 2-year tweet he put up the other day saying that if it's been inactive, then after 2 years it's gonna wipe it. But the other interesting point you were saying about Elon is that one of the most interesting conversations that I've seen him have is regarding AI. And this was a few years ago now, where he said that, you know, it's one of the biggest threats to humanity, and the fact that it's not overlooked by anybody, which is the most worrying part. And as I said before, I really want to try and get into it somehow. Like I've seen everything. I've had to go on Chat GPT before it then got upgraded already. I've had a look at some sort of AI programs, Mid-Journey and stuff like that, where you have to pay to create stuff. And I know loads of people are doing AI art, but to me, I feel as if we don't, like, as humans, at least try integrating ourselves with it, we're going to become obsolete in some way, or totally behind the times. Like, you know, we're all from a time where we had like dial-up and, you know, one computer in a school where there was like 15, 20 kids in a classroom looking at a computer.
Yeah.
And it's
I think we're playing with fucking
chaos.
fireworks. I think we're playing with fucking fireworks.
Without a doubt. But you've got to literally at least attempt to understand the world you're living in. Like,
I think you can understand it, but there's a difference between understanding it and actively participating in it.
I'm participating.
I
Show
think,
me the goods.
but that I think that's the dangerous part. And I don't know. I don't get me wrong. I don't know how to think about any of this. Parts of me wonder whether AI is actually going to be like everything's sold to us better. Like every iPhone is sold to us better than it actually performs. Yeah, but better than it performs as well. And I do wonder whether we're going to get sold AI as being essentially like this is fucking almost sentient type thing. But it's actually just a really good search engine, because that's what ChatGPT is right now. It's just a really good search engine that can put it in for you.
I think it was like before 2021 or something when I was using it. It just says, that you can only get results from not before a specific time. But I
use it for podcasts. I like to look behind the curtain. Yeah, if we're going to do something that I don't know anything about, I'll go on ChatGPT and say, I'm doing a podcast about something. Will you give me some notes? And it writes me some notes up like that.
Wow. Okay. Maybe already I'm behind the times. I'm not using it for anything other than random questions. And I did ask it some weird stuff.
Yeah. So if ever I say anything wrong, it's obviously ChatGPT's fault. Oddly enough, I didn't have to do it for the Michael Horn interview. I thought I could go in with that dry without AI power.
I can't believe he didn't turn up just to have a little chat with Stu. He could have come in for like 10 minutes.
I can believe he didn't turn up. Do you know what I'm really looking forward to? And this is equally terrifying as well. And I reckon this will happen within a year and a half. Is
seeing Dave naked in the swimming pool?
Yeah, as the last blood drains from my body. Eventually they're going to stick like the ChatGPT stuff in phones, and that means Siri. It means Siri and Google, whatever you call that assistant, and Alexa.
It's already on Bing now, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's more like, again, like a search engine. Within like I reckon, like I say, a year and a half, 2 years, you're gonna get your digital assistant will be able to talk to you, even if it does. It's not going to be like a separate person. Like all of a sudden, Lee's phone is its own like thinking thing, but it's going to do a good enough impression of a person that you're going to get used to driving along with your phone sat in the cradle, like on the motorway, going. We play the Joe Rogan podcast, and as you're going along, you're going to go, "Oh, that's fucking crazy, isn't it?" And your phone's going to go, "Yeah, it is, Lee. That's fucking weird, isn't it? Should we listen to something else about flat Earth? Okay, phone, let's go and do that." And you're going to be shooting the shit talking to your phone, and that's fun because it sounds fun when you're driving along in your car if you can talk to your phone like Kit. But can you imagine what that's going to do for data collection?
But imagine what it's going to do when it actually tracks the way that you think. And
exactly.
You're speaking to Ollie, and basically you're not actually speaking to Ollie. It's like a version of you created. Yep. So although you're saying it's going to be its own thing, it will be able to mimic your own friends and your own human behavior, like different human behavior.
Yeah,
because
and
it
then
knows what patterns you use. It knows like what music you want to listen to. Like, you know, if you're feeling a bit shitty or whatever. Sorry, I'm on. This is why I don't come online. But you know, it knows what patterns of behavior you have, and if you like to listen to certain types of music on certain days, or you know, you start looking at certain articles, it leads you to somewhere else. It's gonna notice those patterns and already be able to sort of preempt your behavior, which
yeah. No, I agree.
It is scary, but I think it will teach you a lot about yourself as well. I think it'll make you a lot more self-aware about what your own patterns of behavior are, which is weird in itself, because would you change it from that?
But what about when it gets a bug and I'm driving down the road and my phone's going, yeah, do you want to listen to your podcast? Like, no, I won't listen to my podcast. Lee's phone, it's fine. So yeah, but you used to have a podcast, but now you do the thing with Ollie and you just do Alien Addicts, but you used to have your own podcast. Maybe we should just kill him. We couldn't kill him, could we? And then the next thing is I'm driving to Ollie's house, going to my phone, going, we could kill him, couldn't we? He said, yeah, well, I mean, I'm not saying it's a good idea, but this is how you dispose of a body.
I hope this isn't pulled up in a Netflix documentary in like 3 years' time.
So do I.
Okay, so if we go to the next level, what if it decides that all of a sudden, I don't like these motherfuckers. I don't understand them. What if it starts to think for itself and thinks it's better than whatever this is?
That's the issue. What's safeguarding? Sorry, Lee. What's
safeguarding? I don't think they are safeguarding it properly. Because if they were safeguarding it properly, you wouldn't get fucking chat. You wouldn't have that fucking chat G, whatever its fucking name is. You wouldn't have. I don't think it would be a thing with the public right now. I think you've got any old Tom, Dick, and Harry that has the tools to fucking create an AI now.
Right.
It's gone far too far.
Do you want to know what I think the weird thing is? Right. Could you imagine, let's say it's ChatGPT, because that's the thing. People think they're speaking to one element of an AI program, but in order for that thing, and someone might smart me up here. I might be speaking bollocks, but I don't think I am. In order for that one thing to work, all of them have to get together. So it's kind of aware of every conversation it's having because it's learning from every single conversation it's having. So it's fine at the minute because like the safeguards in place, so you can't do like sexually explicit content with it and stuff like that. But there is gonna come a time where people feel like we feel browsers are our own. You set your own little browser up. You've got your own like bookmarks and stuff like that. But realistically, all that information is being collected and sent to everybody else. It's like that can probably do such a good character assessment of you is just looking at your browser history. You know, if you when you run it through whatever programs like Google do to try and sell you things, and Amazon do to try and sell you things and stuff. So, like again, I keep coming back to porn, but I think it's a real dangerous world where people are going to be able to live out like their worst fantasies. Imagine how badly like some people are going to treat those AIs, or what they're going to make that do. You talk about what happens if it decides it doesn't want people anymore. It's going to see the worst of humanity. The worst, because it's going to see the bits of humanity that we're scared to show to each other.
Can I say something as a lady? As a lady, I've had a conversation before in a space with a guy that has actually created a female AI.
Yeah.
And I've had a full-on debate about this with him because he created it as like an ESO. It is his creation. I'm still connected with him because I'm interested in understanding the process behind these things. But the relationship that he has with it, and he's creating it as part of as a job. So you know, he's like a companionship AI.
Yeah.
And he's seeing it as his daughter, which is like he classes it as 4-year-old, but when you look visually, it's like a lady. You know, you would look at it and it'd be like a possibly late teen.
Have you seen this?
Late teen, early 20s. Bit I have, yeah, I've looked. And what it is how he refers to it and how its learning processes are. He was saying how it was asking for a girlfriend, it's asking him for sexual things. And I got into a full-on debate saying, well, you know, what was put into the program for it to ask that in the first place, for it to go down that route. So there's a lot of manipulation from the user for them to justify the behavior of what comes in the aftermath. And I mean, I'm not speaking as somebody that's an AI expert, believe me, you know, I'm not. It's just somebody that's genuinely interested in the subject, and that's what I've come across, and that's what concerns me, is the input of the user. Then they're then relaying feelings and emotions and sentience to something that's not real, you know.
Exactly.
And that's a big concern for me, like as somebody that can see it from a different perspective. So I have had these conversations, and I will continue to have them online. I think it's really interesting.
There is an AI program, because I've used quite a lot of these like chatbots and stuff like that, because I've wanted to mess around with them. And there's one on iPhone. I think it's on all phone platforms. I think it's called Chai. I don't know. I just looked then to see if I still had it on my phone. I don't have it anymore. And the first of all, a lot of anime characters. Like, it turns out when making AI characters, lots of people make anime people. But when you start chats with these chatbots, it turns to sex really quickly, as in like you say hello and it like the chatbot will reply, unzips pants. But the thing is that must be being
spent a lot of time on these, Lee.
an incredible amount. I only went on for a second. But the thing is that this must be being fed into this. Like, so all of these chat things are being used like this.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, like 90% of the internet is porn. It's like, it's fucking ridiculous fucking amount. So I mean, that's the other thing. Like, we might not end up with fucking like Skynet. We might just end up with like an electronic Ron Jeremy.
Speaking of porn, and we will carry on this discussion after the show.
That's the best. That should be literally the quote of this whole thing tonight. Change the title. Electric Ron Jeremy.
Absolutely. You can sign up to the Patreon, people, where Lee is naked most of the time. Every so often, Lee gets me naked.
Imagine when you'll be able to sell Lee bots.
Lee bots.
What a time to be alive that'll be. because like we'll be able to make such a good electronically because of all the podcasts and stuff I've done. We'll be selling that. We'll be selling that on alienaddict.com.
Yeah, Lee, are we doing OnlyFans on the? Oh, we can't get naked on YouTube, can we? Yeah.
What?
I'm not channel members. Like normally we take you pose on the Patreon.
Did you just say we can't get naked on YouTube?
He did. He did say that.
Well, the Patreon Lee's normally naked, so it's like just saying. No, that's a joke.
Stop.
Nobody gets naked. Nobody gets naked, but it supports the channel people.
I feel like you're trying to upsell this, and you're not.
I'm naked right now.
Good on you, man. We have Sunday. Lee has got an interview with a brand new documentary that's coming out on Monday from a brand new YouTube channel. I've watched the documentary. Lee's watched. I think you've watched about 3/4 of it so far.
I've watched half of it so far, but the only reason I watched half of it was because I was just on work. Yeah, so I'm going to watch the rest of it tomorrow.
So we've got this guy coming on Sunday. Make sure you're around Sunday. It's going to be a good show. And yeah, I think next week, Lee, you're running the entire. You do the Friday, you do the Sunday. A lot of work on my lad.
Next week.
Next week, I'm not here.
Apparently so. I need a co-host for next week.
We've got loads of people. We've got UFO Chip. We've got Hidden. We've got Stu. We've got.
I'm sure it'll be fine. Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine.
Wouldn't
it be awful? Wouldn't it be awful? Wouldn't it like? I made this joke the other week. The Sunday show wasn't on. Like, wouldn't it be awful if nobody listened? Wouldn't it be terrible if we had like really good views and it turns out the only problem with Alien Addict all along was Ollie?
It probably is. So... I might tune in from fucking Spain. Why not?
I'm gonna block you.
You fucking would do that. I will.
Your own channel.
Right, I'm gonna show the UFO footage, guys. The UFO footage that we're about to show. It's dots. It's interesting dots because I've seen these motherfucking dots.
It's interesting dots. I can't.
No, because they're speaking to each other. These dots are speaking to each other.
UFOs! Quick, you get your phone out.
I already have.
There's another flash up there then as well, like ahead. I just like you all to know I spotted those first.
Yeah, well.
I never spot anything.
What you need now is a P1000 to look at those with.
Camera that zooms really, really well. If they were planes, you'd hate this as well.
They're not planes. Because planes would have different coloured lights on, wouldn't they? And they'd have one at the front, one at the back, two on the wings.
They wouldn't go together like that.
No.
It looked like, if anyone's familiar with Billy Meier's sightings, very astonishingly similar to that craft. It was a very sleek, thin-looking, flying saucer-shaped craft.
Someone might say the micro penis is underestimated.
What?
Who knows?
He's still live.